It's the third season in a row that the Vikings and Cardinals will open up district play, and it's meeting number 56 all time between these two storied programs. From Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium in Irving, Texas, it's the Irving Nimitz Vikings and the Irving MacArthur Cardinals. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. My name is Scott Garner, joined alongside John Nelson tonight as Nimitz wins last year's game 24-8, and it's kind of left a bad taste in the Cardinals' beaks for about a year.
It has, Scott. Of course, these crosstown rivals meeting for the 56th time. The last 10 years, it's been all MacArthur, 8-2 in that series. But there's nothing like a district opener. You throw all the non-district games away if you can and concentrate, because these are the only games that count.
Yeah, and, MacArthur really felt like that they should have won that game last year between these two teams. They were down 24-0 early, and they really felt like they kind of panicked a little bit, and they shut Nimitz out for about 3 straight quarters, and ended up being really Nimitz's only win of the season. Nimitz limiting MacArthur, remember, to about 137 total yards. That was the big surprising part of that last year's matchup.
Yeah, had a 21-0 lead and kind of held off the Cardinals in the end to eke out their only win of the year. As you see the Vikings in their road white, silver pants, the Cardinals decked out in their Cardinal red jerseys, black pants, and black helmets with cards in script letters across each side. Just about set to go week 4 of the 2025 high school football season. The Cardinals come in at 1-2. They will receive and go from right to left. Nimitz at 0-3, coming off a 27 loss to Grand Prairie, 41-27. That was a couple of weeks ago, so they've had a week off to prepare for the district opener. Omar Molina has it teed up.
Yeah, I was going to say last week, of course, a win against Arlington Sam Houston. MacArthur got up 14-0, but they had a couple of drop balls, and it kind of kept them from pulling away. So they want to start fast tonight, and they want to see what they can do as a season has really begun anew here. District opportunity here, a district opener between these two tough ball clubs. The Vikings again 1-9 last year. MacArthur 3-7.
Wasabi Olamati, one of the 2 deep men. This is a short directional kick and caught out of bounds at the 30, so that didn't carry far. So the I guess Nimitz wanted to try that directional short compressed kick coverage, and pretty good field position, Scott, to begin for Cardinals.
And they're pretty balanced. 126 yards a game on the ground, 181 through the air. They average about 307 yards per game total, and scoring only about 20 points per game. They'd like to see that closer to 30.
Cardinals coming off a 40-28 win, as Scott said, over Sam Houston. Had 202 yards of rushing, 193 up top, as we have a procedure call on the kickoff as they try to get the angle and mark it out of bounds.
First down.
Cardinals going to spot it at the 39.
Yeah, MacArthur had 3 players scored 2 touchdowns last ball game. Wyatt Davis, Jaden Burnett, and Banner Nicholas, who's the head coach's son. No question, their best skill guy.
Brock Casas Willis is the man under. 10 of 20 for 193 yards in his last game from the 39. Willis pump fakes a little swing pass out of the flat to Nicholas. Nicholas 35-40 and is shoved out of bounds at the 43.
It's interesting, they had Tamoy Banton in the slot, and he was running the go route, had a free outside release, but Casas Willis just didn't see him, and they settled for a little toss out in the flat.
So Brock Casas Willis, a junior, one of 19 on the varsity roster this year. They've got 24 seniors, 3 sophomores, and a freshman. There's Banner Nicholas, 5 catches, over 100 yards a couple of weeks ago. One went for 61 and a score. Here's the option toss, 45. He skates out to the 47, maybe the 48, and about a yard shy of the first down.
Gislon Cadjo, that tackle with a nice fan block out there on the edge. It's a little old-fashioned toss right there. They've got some skill guys that can play. This guy's a power bag. Wyatt Davis, 15 for 110 last week. And you watch the center, Joseph Martinez, also getting out there. Good block right there, kind of a fan block. And I love how these Cardinals are really drilled, and they are just inexorably drilled to keep their feet running. But they have had some problems with early penalties in games, and this one's going to be marched back 10 yards.
Randy Moss is the official indicating a hold, a spot foul on the Cardinals. Yeah, Scott, from time, they like to go tempo. I mean, they like to get that ball out to Nimitz, Gabe Burnett, of course, Wyatt Davis, Randy Moss, James Manuel, and the rest of tonight's officiating crews, Dallas chapter. From the 33, Brock Casas-Willis, crossing pattern, climbing up top to snare it is Nitzless, Banner Nitzless. Comes down with it.
They run that two-deep zone, and DeGrate comes over the safety who had a couple of interceptions coming in. The do-it-all safety levies the blow on him, and that's a really nice hit. And he comes right over the middle. They play the zone coverage, and the safety comes over. He's exposed, reaching and trying to high point that ball. DeGrate didn't run through him, as you saw there, but still a nice play.
Almost hung him out to dry. Running play, crossing midfield as the pile continues to surge to the 46-yard line. Running play, and the handoff to Jaden Burnett. Burnett's 6 foot 194, a freshman.
Yeah, Burnett has played some quarterback too. Burnett, you'll see Davis and Derek Washington. It's a simple inside zone scheme.
Burnett looking for an avenue. The door closes hard at the 43. About 4 Vikings there, among them Bailey.
A lot more gap sound that time. Linebackers have a job to do. Marcus Moreno in there, Messiah Ford, who last year had 31 tackles and 3 sacks. You've got to get to the point of attack quickly against this inside zone, because this is a Cardinal team that might change the ratio a little bit. They do not want Nimitz to hold the ball a long time tonight.
Nitzless the move, man. Here's a keeper marker down, breaking into the secondary, inside the 15, inside the 10, but this may come back.
I think so. That thing came from the umpire, and it looked like somebody got pancaked down there. You're right about that. Let's see if it's the second holding call of the drive.
Wyatt Davis able to break free, but this one is coming back.
10-yard penalty.
Just underway, district opener. Again, the Cardinals at 1-2, the Vikings at 0-3. And here's another look, Scott, ground level.
Just a little simple RPO, and again, you watch Cadjo down inside, and Cadjo still got a hold of it. Has a hold of that 3 technique, and then pancakes him, but he got his hands outside the jersey, so they're going to call that pretty much every time. And it's unfortunate because the Cardinals, they're rolling here. They're dominating down inside. And it's funny because, you know, sometimes when you overpower a team, you kind of get a little careless. And right now, you can see the size disparity between the Cardinals and the Vikings. You don't really need to do that. You just need to play fundamental football here. 2nd
and 17. Casas-Willis on the run, floats it out in the right flat. That's Burnett, and Burnett shoved out of bounds.
Really challenging Messiah Ford, who's kind of gone from tight end to defensive end to linebacker. They've made an adjustment with him. Hard to get to the edge with Burnett. He's got so much speed. They're going to make it hard on Ford tonight to go sideline to sideline.
It's spotted at the 49. They need to get to the Viking 36 for a fresh set of downs. As you see, Banner Nitzless move to the near side, to the far side, Olamati.
And they've already overcome 1 holding penalty. Hard to do that twice on the same drive.
2 men in the backfield. Casas-Willis has a lot to choose from. Floats it out, wide open, caught. Nice move by Banton. Banton all the way down to the 32-yard line.
But big pressure by Devin Reynolds. Could not quite get home with the pressure. And they gave Casas-Willis some time to make a good toss. Again, they continue to run that zone defense. Timothy Banton making his first catch. He bypasses the safety valve, throws it up the numbers. Nice job by Banton to put his foot in the ground and to make a cutback and to pick up 4 or 5 extra yards after the catch.
Offensive line this year for the Cardinals averages about 265, 4 seniors and a junior. 1st and 10 from the 33. Running room, Davis, 20, 15. Davis moves and grooves. He twists and turns and finally goes down near the 5.
Boy, and Cordell DeGrade is a fantastic safety. Came in with 16 tackles. He's already made 1 big hit. And he had a big interception against Grand Prairie earlier this year, but he was just trying to hang on for dear life. He rodeoed him down inside the 10-yard line as another flag came down late.
Couldn't tell if the back judge is the one that threw the flag. It came at about the 6-yard line. In discussion, and here's the call.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 23. Half distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
It has been a drive
27
of
yards
explosives
on the
so
run.
far. A pass for 13, another one for 20, another one for 30. And so for the second straight time, they have overcome the holding penalty, but they're getting explosive plays on the ground. They're getting explosive plays through the air. They're pretty much doing anything that they want. You see Cordell DeGray just trying to hold on, let Marcus Moreno come over there, number 22, and rally to the football. The Cardinals look very poised. They are very upset. I'm telling you right now, coming into this game, Vic Nicholas was very upset. When he just gets angry when he thinks about the outcome from last year. He really felt like they should have battled back, even though it was a slow start against Nimitz. It was Nimitz's only victory of the year. He felt like they should have battled back. They only scored 8 points, and it has stuck in his craw for literally 300 days.
Well, the Cardinals opened up the year August 28 at Haskell, losing to the Haskell Panthers 20-14. Week 2, they lost to Joshua 23-6, and rallied to knock off Arlington Sam Houston 2 weeks ago 40-28. Come in averaging 20 points a game. Timeout called, and here is a look at some of last year's action, Scott.
Well, you take a look at it a year ago when these two teams met. Nimitz grabbed that early lead, and it was their only win of the season. The quarterback, Andrew Valencia, threw a first quarter touchdown, rushed for another one. Vikings opened up the 24-0 halftime lead. Javon Woolfolk added a touchdown. Nimitz held on for the 24-8 victory against MacArthur. But as we mentioned, it was something that just did not sit well, and they kind of let the game get away, and it's been a huge chip on their shoulder. They sort of used that as momentum in the offseason, in fall camp, and he said, rest assured, the Cardinals will be locked in tonight.
Well, they've moved 58 yards on this current drive. It's 1st and goal, so that face mask penalty occurred at about the 6 or 7 yard line, and it's spotted at the 3.
One thing they've got to like about it, though, too, while they've driven the length of the field, they've taken 3 minutes off the clock because Nimitz is going to come out. They're going to run a slot T. There's only 2 teams in 6A that do it, so the more time that the Cardinals can eat, the better, because they know they might not have to win the time of possession, but they don't want to get decimated by time of possession tonight. They want as many possessions as possible against Nimitz, who has completely changed the way that they do things offensively this year with a brand new offensive coordinator. So the tale of this game is going to be told by the MacArthur defense.
You saw the muscle men come in late in the backfield. You had Archie Mitchell at 260. You had Cadjo at 265, a offensive lineman. So what do you think, a bull rush to the left side?
It won't be anything fancy here. It's just going to be a straight-ahead run like you're saying, especially on first down, because Nimitz has not been able to dig their heels in, and they've not been able to butt and press down low yet. And this series has leaned in favor of MacArthur, but not last year.
24-8 your final 2 years ago. The Cardinals able to eke out a 27-24 win. This is the last 10 years since Mac won the first meeting at 2015 at 14-9, a 10-year span. So here we go, full house backfield. Now they shift to the right. Banner Nitzlis runs the show. Nitzlis looking for daylight, and he will head to the pylon, inside the pylon, able to get ahead of Juan Barron and score tonight's first touchdown. But Scott, this may come back.
Not sure you had 7 guys on the line of scrimmage right here. This might be a formation issue. The headlines, but as soon as the ball was snapped, threw the hanky in the air, and that generally indicates a formation problem.
Have to have 7 on the line of scrimmage. And Randy Moss's indication, well, no, against Nimitz.
Touchdown.
How about that? So,
Touchdown stand.
yeah, Nimitz gives up the touchdown here to start.
Touchdown.
And a really nice drive by the Cardinals, who didn't have to do anything fancy, but they pretty much did anything they wanted to do. They were downhill the entire drive, save for a couple of holding penalties. But again, it's unusual for a team to overcome one of those per drive. 2 of those, that hardly ever happens, but the Cardinals dominating the first drive of the game.
Max Flores-Leapy with the PAT. It is spotted and is no good. Wide left as Leapy misses, so it's a 6-0 Cardinal lead. Banner Nitzlis scoring on the ground last week and gives his team a 6-0 cushion. 8:59 in the opening quarter. And another look at it. Couldn't tell if this was away from the ball, the penalty infraction against Nimitz.
Nimitz lining it a little bit anxious there, just trying to cover up the A-gap because that's where they were dominant. It's a really nice block. You see down low, Gisland Kajo, 5'9", 265. That's called reaching. And when they were able to get the outside shoulder pad to turn him inside, he was able to reach the defensive end. And a nice run by Banner Nicholas, who again came in pretty much their best back, both running the football and catching the football. Remember last year, he caught 44 passes for 802, but also ran for 300 yards. He had 17 total touchdowns last year. Last week, he was 8 of 70 through the air with a touchdown. Also had a sack, made 18 tackles in the game. He is fantastic. He will be playing on Saturdays. They're not sure where yet, but they know he's going to be playing somewhere on Saturday.
Kind of a Wes Welker, Julian Edelman football player.
And you know, they'll use him some as a Wildcat quarterback. They're not afraid to do that. They'll put him under center. He's got speed, great hands, and this guy is a do-it-all kind of guy.
It is a short kickoff. It won't reach the 20. It's fair caught at about the 30. Jalen Harris, a sophomore, and that's where the Vikings will take possession tonight for the first time.
So let's see here. Let's watch this, because this new offensive coordinator, Chase Burns, who's in his first season under the direction of Anthony Small, who's in his fourth season as the head coach for Irving Nimitz, learning from Coach Hare at Jasper. And they say, hey, we're certified members of the Slot T Mafia. Only 2 teams in 6A run this offense.
You don't see it.
You don't see it. Liberty Hill runs it. Salado down in Central Texas, Canyon Lake. They're running the Slot T. They gash opponents every week with it. It's hard to line up against. It's almost like playing a wishbone. They will huddle, but they'll break it, and they want to snap it within 3 seconds. Here they come.
On tempo, Cole Wallace, and fumbles the first snap, just trying to regain possession of it. If it changed hands or not, Wallace just dove quick to save it, and he did. Loses about a half a yard.
Hey, that's what happened when they tried to throw a deep ball last week. Had a guy wide open because the defense didn't line up to it, but the quarterback fumbled the ball. Sometimes they get in a little bit of they're in too much of a hurry. You got to be quick, but don't hurry. Kind of a basketball mentality, but they try to catch you off guard.
2nd and 10, another fumble snap as the Cardinals get to it first. Somebody took it away from Wallace. Both fighting possession, and it stands. It's Cardinal football. That's Burnett.
2 fumbles.
Strong
in
safety.
a row. You know, they were statted as having fumbled 11 times in week number 2. And I saw that, and I didn't do a double take. I did a quadruple take at that number. And I thought, what? 11 fumbles? But that's what the Morning News had them statted for, and that thing just bounces around in there. First time they didn't get it. That time the Cardinals were ready for it. And, hey, that's how you keep them off the time of possession board right there. Just get one of these fumbles.
You quoted John Wooden, be quick but don't be in a hurry.
Yeah, be quick but don't hurry. That's it. Be quick but don't hurry. And that's really the key there. It's unusual to watch. You know, if they could ever get it down, it's hard to defend.
Brock Casas-Willis, empty backfield, looking right sideline. Marker down, caught, 25-20, inside the 20, and tossed to the turf at about the 17-yard line on the stop. Juan Barron, but marker dropped as soon as Willis got the snap.
Yeah, and one of the things you notice, you're seeing the backs of a lot of defensive backs, and that's never a good sign.
Personal foul. Shot block. Center and guard. 15-yard penalty.
Blocking below the waist.
Replay
Chop
second down.
block.
First down.
Yardage stepped off. Number 48 coming in. That's Cannon Spencer. Spencer's the tight end.
Look at the replay again. You can't get him high. One guy had him high, the other had him low. There you go, right there in the middle, and that's a good call right there. It was a bang-bang call, but Ortiz Cruz, the center, had him high, and then Medellin had him low, so you can't do that. That's illegal. That's a safety issue right there. That's called a chop block. You can go at the knees, but you can't have somebody have him up high, too.
15 yards, step back to the 48, coming this way. Double team down at the 43 is Burnett.
Well, I love how Wyatt Davis, number 15, had 110 yards on 15 carries last year, but they say he might be a better blocker in the run game than ball carrier. You watch him on that last play, number 15, leading the way. They're sort of taking a page out of the Nimitz playbook there and getting some of these running backs to sort of block for each other, as you see Jaden Burnett down right there.
It's a gain of 5, 2nd and long from the Irving Nimitz 43. Brock Casas-Willis drops back, right flat, wide open, caught 45-40. Moving is Hernandez. Hernandez inside the 35 to the 34.
Boy, a lot of cushion, soft coverage, and they're having a hard time rallying to the football, and I thought for a moment that he might have gotten his face mask. Let's watch the end of it. I thought he got his face mask grabbed, but good pressure. You see a lot of offensive linemen pancake. That time the 3 technique pancaked the guard. And watch this right here. Looked like a face mask from, no, got the shoulder pad. So it was a shoulder pad, not a face mask. Good, no call there by the official. And got a little bit of the jersey, but no face mask.
Just grabbing and holding and trying to take down Hernandez, and which they eventually did. Another timeout taken here. 7-11 left in our opening quarter. It's a 6-0 Irving MacArthur lead on a 3-yard Banner Nitzless run.
You see the disparity in athleticism between the Cardinals offense, particularly the skill guys on the outside, and the backers and DBs. They're just having a hard time rallying to the football. But this is has a lot to do with the play design. They're doing a good job of spreading the field with some air raid stuff where they go sideline to sideline, which makes it very difficult to rally to pass catchers and ball carriers on edges. And right there you see Anthony Small kind of talking to the official there, saying, hey, we got to get this going. And he's probably a little bit concerned right now with his guys giving a little bit too much space to the wide receivers.
At the 33 on 3rd and 11.
Boy, big down here.
Swing pass caught in the flat. This is Davis, Wyatt Davis. Stiff arms a defender, shoved out of bounds by number 9, Juan Barron.
Yeah, and I thought Barron did a good job of kind of slow playing that, making certain that they sort of bottled up the receiver, Wyatt Davis. Davis did a good job of blocking 2 plays ago. That time they get it to him on the edge. He's not real fast, but he's hard to tackle. And he's broken a couple of tackles already. But that's a nice play by Juan Barron, who came in with 6 tackles from that strong safety position. And now it's 4th down, and they have no thoughts of punting this football.
Jaden Burnett, who was shaken up back in, came out under his own accord a few minutes ago. Now back in the backfield, as you see Brock Casas-Willis. Play has been called. Where does Davis go? Wyatt Davis is to the right. Casas-Willis goes the other way. Caught, down and out pattern at the 22, number 18 on the receiving end, Derek Washington.
Boy, love the pattern there by Derek Washington. They list him as a fullback, but what a great out pattern. Fakes to the inside, goes to the outside, leaves the defensive back. And it's not that he ran a great route, it's that he knew exactly where to be. How smart is this guy? Got not one, but both feet down. You've only got to have one down in high school, but he is very tough to cover and came in with 6 receptions for the season. That's a nice route run and a nice catch to convert.
Jalen Parks was closing in but got there a little late. Running play and not much. Stacked up at the 20.
I want to go back to Derek Washington. Last week he had a couple of carries for 23, but he just does everything right. He's a great blocker, goes unnoticed, but that time, and you see Brian Gaudain, the defensive tackle, they list him as the 3rd tackle on the 3 deep. They go about 6 deep at both tackle positions. You've got Goffa, Torres, Gaudain, Maldonado, Lola, and Rodriguez, that all 6 really will be rotating in tonight.
2nd and 8 as they scrimmage at the 20. Brock Casas-Willis, great protection, throws wide open, caught at the 10. It'll be 1st and goal. Banner Nitzless thrown hard down by number 3, Hayden Vinson.
And these wide receivers are just absolutely having a field day. Brock Casas-Willis came in 41 of 75, completing 55% of his passes. That number is going to go up tonight because this coverage is so soft on the edge. They can just play pitch and catch, but another penalty flag down, as you see.
This one coming back, it was spotted at the 20. If it's a hold, it'll be a 10-yard march off, and they'll place it down at the 30. Well, you said, Scott, the secondary, I mean, they've been on the chase this entire first quarter. Derek Davis and DeGreat, some of these guys looked a little gassed. Jalen Parks.
Yeah, and they run a lot of 4-2-5, a lot of nickel coverage, which is what a lot of teams base out of. They'll run some cover 3 as well, but you see the soft. Now they're pressing up a little bit. You see the defender, the defensive back at the top of the screen.
Looking for a dark jersey and just throws it up, and is it intercepted and bound? Nope, out of bounds.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, Anthony Small is absolutely hot. His eyeballs might have been 6 feet from that play, and he's lobbing to the line, just, hey, he got his foot down. All you got to have is one down. That was a fantastic play by the defensive back, Marco Moreno, to come over there. He's playing some will linebacker tonight, but he broke on that football. Boy, I thought they slow played it well there. Nice job by Goffa to play contained with the quarterback. Let's watch it. Did he get? All you got to do is have 1 foot down. Watch the left one, right here. Ooh, a little bit on the white.
Yep.
Pretty good call by the official.
Yeah, the toe on the white. What, 3 or 4 inches. There's Marcus Moreno, Jr.
Don't take anything away from him. He did not start last week, but he wanted to kind of make up for it, and he made a play right there.
3rd and 18 down the rail, caught at the 3. Nice adjustment by Washington. Came back, located it, able to secure it, and it's 1st and goal.
Man, they throw the corner route. Hardest pass to make for a quarterback. Not so much rolling to your right, but yet still, that's a hard pass. That ball had a lot of air under it, too. Watch the amount of air under this football. And pretty good throw here by Cassius Willis. Just put it right in the bucket. He had to wait for it, and I thought for a moment, I really thought that they were going to make up the ground there. As you saw Wolfo go over there to try to break that thing up, but he just couldn't quite get there in time. He had to go a long way for it.
Thought Washington was going to raise a hand for a fair catch.
I know,
Stood
right?
up there so long. Running play, Burnett to the outside, shakes off one, evades another, twisting, turning inside, shoving close to the goal line and in and over. What a hard 3-yard run by Burnett.
Hard-fought run by Burnett. He's got a little wiggle to him. He's young, but, man, he has looked so good. He is just a freshman. This guy right here, they said, hey, we got to put this guy on the varsity. He looks that good. Some mistake him for an upperclassman, and he runs like it. I thought for a moment early in that play you might have had a block in the back. Love to get a second look at this from the high home view there, but that's a nice run by Burnett. Again, just a freshman, came in with 25 carries for 118 yards. That's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Extra point spotted, and this one is hooking to the left. 0 for 2 in extra points. It is a 12-0 lead.
This guy, Jaden Burnett, 6 feet, 194. Man, does he look the part. He can catch the ball. He's got a couple of catches this year. Out in the flat, he can catch, he can run, but he knows how to get his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, runs with a low pad level. I think he's going to be very, very good. Let's watch this again. To get him to the edge, and I thought for a moment they might call right there, maybe a little block in the back, but nope. Nice spin move there by Jaden Burnett, and I love how he keeps his feet moving. Nimitz has had a hard time getting there. I thought that was a pretty good play right there just to keep from being reached by Jalen Parks. That's a cornerback trying to make that play.
But then he turns counterclockwise, away from 3.
Turned away from 3, and that just tells you they really think they have that kind of dominance against Nimitz tonight. They've got speed. They've got the power. They really, the size offensively is going to be tough to withstand for the Vikings tonight.
A 12-0 lead. You rarely see 2 consecutive extra points that are missed, but that is the case. October the 16th, you can catch the Nimitz Vikings and the Cardinals. Or Jesuit. That's our second look at Jesuit. Their logo is almost like Irving Nimitz, but Dallas Jesuit in for the 2nd time this year. On the 16th, taking on this Cardinal squad. Jesuit a winner Thursday nights over Irving High. Oscar Abrego, sophomore, will kick off. One of the 2 men back deep. You see Jaden Wolfolk, number 2. But on the run, caught on the run at the 23, over the 25, into the grinder at the 30, and finally stacked up. Ball came loose. Couldn't tell if it was blown dead. Trying to take it away is Donovan Wilson. But it'll be Nimitz Viking football. Kind of a shaky return.
And shaky return and shaky start for Nimitz, who's only snapped the ball twice so far in this game. They've both been fumbles. MacArthur with a 12-0 lead, but they have completely dominated the play and dominated time of possession so far. It's been completely different. Let's look at it again. Thought for a moment that ball might be loose. It was loose. That ball was loose behind the pile. And, man, you just got to jump back down on it. Don't try to pick that thing up. Just hop down on it.
Yeah, don't be an offensive lineman. Try to pick it up. Just fall on it, secure it, because you're down 12-0. They need to get in this game at the 27, their 2nd possession here in a long, lengthy first quarter. And quick to the ball, and a snap, and a handoff over right guard, and not much.
Just an absolute scrum. You're going to see a lot of power. You're going to see some counter tonight. Some pin and pull technique with the center. They like to pull their center some, but speed sweeps, something that you'll see with this is a completely new offense. Slot T, actually popular, as we mentioned, down in Central Texas. Again, they sprint out of the huddle. They will break it. The center gets ready to go, and it doesn't take them long.
2nd and 9. Man in motion, a bobble by Wallace again, and is thrown back. You know, Bob Wager, when he took the job at Arlington Martin, he installed this offense. As soon as you break the huddle, he wants to get the play off in 3 seconds. Same thing with Coach Small.
And, you know, that's something that you see the men in red. That's something the men in red have had to work on this week. They have had to practice. Their scout team, that's what they did for 2 straight days. They just practiced trying to sprint out of the huddle. And the Mike linebackers had to practice making calls. You see Jordan Seaworth over there. He's talking right now. He's the captain. He's kind of stepped up. They really trust him now. He had a shaky year last year, but he's making the call right now as they break the huddle.
Cole Wallace wants to throw. It's batted up. Intended out in the left flat for Jalen Harris, number 10. Ball batted away, but as you said, Scott, for now, MacArthur on defense, they just let the mistakes come to them.
They do, and MacArthur not having to do a whole lot. They got good pressure that time, and you saw Wallace trying to catch him off guard, and I thought Woolfolk was going to be able to run that corner route because nobody stayed with him, but the problem was too much pressure, and Nimitz has got to punt this thing away. They've got no choice.
Saw the rover back in the mix, Tex Morris. As the Vikings drop back in punt formation, their second series will end in a punt. Almost blocked straight up. Not much distance. It hits at the 43, goes downfield for an extra 7 or 8 yards, and blown out of bounds at the 47 of MacArthur. Omar Molina lucky to get that one off.
Lucky to get it off, and he didn't hit it cleanly. And this entire first quarter has gone the way of these guys. MacArthur, Beck Nicholas, as you talked about, man, what a job he has done. 52 years old. It's his first head coaching job. Coached 24 years, though, here at MacArthur. He's coached linebackers, D-line, running backs. You know, and while at MacArthur, his team's made the playoffs in 02, 03, 04, 05. A lot of years they went to the playoffs. Defense was ranked number 17th in DFW in 16, 17, and 18. So they've had good success, and one of the reasons why he got this head coaching job.
His second stint at MacArthur, coming from Hebron High School. Running play, crossing midfield. Nice run. It's a first down and more. It takes 2 to throw down Wyatt Davis. And Davis collects the 1st and 10 for the Big Red. The Cardinals on the march, leading 12-0.
When you watch this, this play is really supposed to hit to the right. They bounce it out left. It's not really supposed to go there, but Wyatt Davis just running to daylight. He's big, he's strong. Man, he runs hard. He's had a couple of games where he's been close to 100 yards. One game where he actually went over 100 yards. He is just a junior.
At the 41-yard line, trying to tear it out of the hands of Burnett, but hangs on to it and moves upfield to the 35.
And one of the things you notice is that they have more yards after contact than Nimitz has from scrimmage.
From scrimmage?
It's unbelievable. Yeah. They do a really good job of keeping their feet moving, but this is where that size disparity comes in.
Offensive line anchored by Tim Cruz. As they break huddle, 2nd and 4 after a 6-yard pickup. Burnett in the backfield to the right. Takes a handoff from Casas Willis. Look at the running room. 30, 25, and just runs out of bounds at the 24. He'll take it. Nobody there to apply any kind of pressure.
Yeah, and Marcus Moreno he had a hard time setting the edge. Just could not even get close to stopping Jaden Burnett from turning the corner. There's number 22, just could not get there, and no chance for Hayden Vincent. That's just that's just a simple drill that they run in practice called pursuit drill. It looked like they were running to cones that time, and Burnett did anything he wanted to do on that last play.
And again, that secondary's been on the chase all night and hold everything. As soon as a handoff, we got a marker dropped. If the Cardinals may have been a little premature off the ball. Illegal procedure against the Cards, so it'll cost them 5.
First down.
Set up 1st and 15. There you see the offensive line, some of the big guys, Guardo and Martinez and Medlin.
You know, one of the things Beck Nicholas had mentioned is that, when he was coming out of college and he ran track at North Texas, he knew he wanted to be a football coach, just like his dad. And it's special to be able to coach his son and obviously see him hang out with his teammates, one of the things he talked about. But I guarantee you, when they go into the locker room, they're going to talk about these penalties. They've had at least one big one on every drive so far.
From the 28, 1st and 15, up, down, pass intended for Olamati, but a little bit too tall. One of the offensive linemen did want to mention getting in there is Gordo.
Pretty good coverage, too, by Amari Fitzgerald, who is a backup cornerback trying to guard Osa Omalade, the junior. And they had him in man coverage. Not a great toss, but pretty good coverage right there by the cornerbacks. First time they've really been able to cover Omalade.
Jonathan Reyes at 275 on the right side. 2nd and 15. Banner Nicholas in motion. Here's the keeper, Wyatt Davis. Davis lunging to the 22.
And simple quarterback power. They pull the backside guard. Jesse Torres trying to hang on. He only had 2 carries coming in. He's the number 2 defensive tackle at that one technique, playing behind Jeffrey Goffa. But again, the power just too much to withstand right there. Pretty good play.
You see Colin Hernandez, number 9. He's also a defensive back, but in there now offensively. There's Davis, number 15, heads out to the right. 3rd and 8 from the 21. Got twin receivers cut on either side. Empty backfield. Casas Willis looking. Here's a pressure. Throws it away. And, all intents and purposes had no way of getting it to Hernandez.
It's interesting. I'm surprised they didn't try to run the football right there to set up a 4th and short, because they have had now 7 running plays of at least 5 yards or more in this first quarter. But now it sets up 4th down and very long here, close to 8.
Had that pass been a little lower, it may have been picked off. So just a throwaway.
They're covering better. Been covering better on this drive. Not so much in terms of the soft coverage, and now they're going to give their place kicker, Oscar Abrego, a chance to boot this thing through from 37.
Angle to the left from 37 yards, or a player short. And trying to get on was Reyes. He started, stopped, now motioned back to the bench. And it'll cost the Cardinals a timeout.
But this is really, they know going deeper into district competition, they're throwing the ball more than really they need to. They could line up and run the football every down here and have success against Nimitz. But they really want Casas Willis to, get more into the groove and to become more acclimated to getting timing with Nicholas and Olamade and Hernandez. They want that timing to improve, too, with Spencer and Davis, their 2 tight ends. Casas Willis had a great offseason. It's his 2nd year as the starting quarterback, and you can see Coach Nicholas lining up with his guys here huddled up. But Casas Willis, as a sophomore, did a good job sort of thrown into the starter's role last year, because remember, their starting quarterback broke his collarbone, and so he was sort of forced into the action. And Nimitz right here, they want to stiffen up, but you got to be careful. You don't want to jump off sides here. They've already jumped off sides once down inside the 5 on the goal line. Don't want to do it here. Want to force this with a tough angle to be as difficult to kick as possible.
Abrego from 38. The holder is Hernandez. Spotted. It is blocked. Picked up, loose, and the Nimitz Vikings have held on the blocked field goal attempt.
They could not get it protected. I thought it really went back to the 3rd down play where they decided to throw it rather than set up a 4th and short. They end up having to kick the ball and go for the place kick, which isn't a bad thing, because you've got to get Abrego some work too. And let's watch and see where that pressure came from. Boy, it was just the A gap and nothing fancy there. They just get the hand up. That ball was kicked very low, and so really I didn't think it had much of a chance anyway.
It looked like Alcala may have got a hand on it, number 62. But you're right, it was in the A gap, but you kind of wonder, Scott, had they not taken a timeout, had it been in the even flow of things, it may have changed. But you take a timeout, didn't have a full complement of players, and the missed field goal. So 3rd possession as they start from about the 28 and not much. Number 10 Jalen Harris.
Yeah, that's Jalen Harris, who had 28 carries coming in for 200 yards. He's dangerous when they can get into the second level, but sometimes it's kind of hard. You know, they just try to outnumber you with this scheme, pulling guards, tackles, H-backs, whatever they can do to try to get an advantage. It's a numbers game in the slot T.
Landon Tywater, wide right, as they scrimmage from the 31. Marker down.
Ooh.
As Wolfolk is mauled. Shaken down hard, 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Trying to see where that marker came from. It was hard to tell.
Came from the near side.
Maybe offsides here, maybe trying to decide who jumped.
Well, you did have Tywater by himself wide right. It's a
maybe two fouls on the offense.
procedure
here.
in a hole. Initial call holding on Nimitz, but then he also indicated a procedure. Maybe a double whammy. Here's a call. Randy Moss, tonight's official. He's a referee.
2 fouls on the play. Illegal procedure. Offense. A penalty is declined. Holding. Offense. Penalty is declined.
Yeah, it's a twofer.
Result of the play is 3rd down.
Procedure and a hold on Nimitz.
A pretty easy call, not much of a decision right there. You know, MacArthur, we talked about how much they've dominated. They've got 166 yards on the ground so far. Nimitz has 1 yard of offense. It's just been that kind of quarter here. It's just been an awful quarter, but as bad as it's been, you know, if you can try to generate some offense here, move the sticks a couple of times, keep possession, keep MacArthur away from the football, you're only down by 2 scores.
They need 11 on 3rd down. It's a head fumble, and the Cardinals get it back again. It looked like number 32 the first to get to it, and he was. That's Morris.
Tex Morris got in there. He's the defensive end. He's deceiving. He doesn't look all that athletic, but that's a really good job of trying to knife in there, pressing and shedding. And that's what you do. You almost try to treat it like a counter play. You want to wrong shoulder everything, get as much penetration as you can. He did not get blocked. Almost came through unblocked that time. And he has been seasoned. He's been making plays and makes another one for MacArthur.
Cole Wallace, as soon as he turned, was hit right above the left shoulder pad.
Boy, look at that. I love how they break out the fumble, the celebration on the turnover, the turnover chain, the big necklace.
They've all got him now, do they not?
They do. I mean, you got to love that. Get a picture with him. Yeah, let me wait a little longer. What are you taking it off for?
1st and 10 cards from the 25. He's got to be out there. Here's a deep toss and hold everything. Motion on both sides.
Snap infraction on the center. 5-yard
Movement
penalty.
on the O-line. It'll cost the Cardinals 5. They lead 12-0 inside of a minute here in the opening quarter.
Boy, MacArthur's had field position. They have had time of possession. Everything has gone their way. They almost have 200 yards of offense already.
Derek Washington wide right, man in motion. Here's a reverse, and Banner Nitzlis, he will keep it. He's running 25. Nitzlis 20, and Nitzlis to the 19.
When it's interesting, the misdirection completely fooling Hayden Vinson, number 3, the strong safety. He didn't even know where the ball was, just trying to find it. And when you get lost and your opponent has more speed than you do, man, you are really in a bad situation. But again, you've got to stay home, and he did, but just could not quite find the football. Watch number 3 there. He was late, didn't recognize it, and now he left it up to Amari Fitzgerald, who had been running deep with a vertical route, having a hard time rallying.
At the 20, 2nd and 5. This one is caught. A juggling catch, but he held on long enough at the 6-yard line. Another reception for Derek Washington, the junior.
Well, another reception, another explosive play. They get another 15 yards. And again, the soft zone coverage. All you've got to do is kind of throw that thing up. He was off his back foot. Cassius Willis just drops it over to let Derek Washington get over there. He had to sprint, almost coming back for that football, reaching all the way out. Kept his hands down. He knew he wasn't going to get hit, so he wasn't concerned about the contact. He just had to catch the ball.
Wyatt Davis on 1st and goal.
Wow.
Davis is stoned but surges ahead towards a double strike. And Davis, he says touchdown, and I thought he got in that.
Boy, I thought he did too. He's lobbying, isn't he?
He was hit hard at about the 2, carried the defenders with him inside the 1. They're spotted at the half-yard line. And that is the end of the quarter. So the Cardinals and the Vikings will flip the field. The MAC Cardinals on top, 12-0. Back with more on our ICTN Game of the Week. John Nelson back with Scott Garner. Eat more chicken. Is that what? Yeah, they're escorting him off at the 10-yard line. Here's some student action. That trying to nail one from what?
Hey, that got higher than our last place kick.
Are they giving away Lee Corso money?
No. You might think about it. Man, that was a pretty good kick right there.
It was. Well, 35 yards out. 1st and goal. MacArthur is Davis in the backfield. Davis will just go straight ahead and barrels in for the 3rd touchdown here in the first half.
Boy, easy pickings. I love this concept right here. They send the fly sweeper in motion, and rather than using a running back, they use the sweeper as a potential back to hand it off, where they freeze the linebackers, run a simple read option, and an easy touchdown here for MacArthur.
It is 18-0. Number 52, Oscar Abrego will try the PAT. They've missed 2 in a row and want to get things righted here. Colin Hernandez is a holder. Do they have enough players? They do not. Caggio.
Yeah, Gaggio a little bit late getting on.
Good hold. And it is true and through, so the extra point is good with 11:55 just underway in the second quarter.
Boy, Wyatt Davis has suffered from some cramps this year. He actually cramped twice against Joshua earlier this year. Cramped once in the 3rd, then another time in the 4th. Otherwise, he would have gone over 100 yards. He would have 2 games of 100 yards rushing. But this junior, fantastic. He can throw the ball, he can catch the ball, he can run the ball. And he had 308 yards last year as a sophomore. They knew he was going to be good this year. He was great in fall camp. What a leader. This is a really good tailback.
Cardinals last year finished 3-7 overall, 1-6 in district play. They did return 6 offensive starters and 6 defensive starters this year.
They did, and you know that's always nice. But they have only won 1 game so far. They're trying to win their 2nd in a row. They lose to Pascal 20-14. Joshua beat them 23-6 in week number 2. Come back, get the win against Arlington Sam Houston, and they do it by getting the early lead, but just could not put away Sam Houston last week. They did get the Cassis Willis 61-yard touchdown to Nicholas in the 4th, but it took too long. It was too long for Coach Nick Nicholas's liking, but the run game tonight has been absolutely dominating so far for the Cardinals, who right now on the ground, you look at the numbers, and this team has run for over 80 yards. They have 166 yards through the air so far.
Obrego. It's a spinner and caught shoulder high to 15. This is number 6 on the return. DeGreat draws a crowd at the 25, and DeGreat piled up at about the 26.
And he got a good block from Josh Fernandez, and I thought for a moment, had that been a little bit harder, they might have thrown a flag for what they call a blind side block, the old crackback block. You got to be careful there when somebody's going one direction, they don't see you, and you hit them from the other direction, they'll flag you. They've been doing that now for the last 3 or 4 years. They go by the NCAA rules. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but at the high school level, John, this is the only state in the union that actually uses the NCAA rule book at the high school level. Every other state uses the NFHS rule.
5-yard penalty.
Rule book, I should say. Another penalty here.
First down.
I didn't pick it up. It came late. It was spotted initially at the 27. And they'll mark it off against the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, a penalty on the return, a 5-yarder. So from the 32, that's where the 4th possession starts for the Vikings. It's almost like a carbon copy. They have started from the 30, the 27, the 27, and now the 32.
Yeah, they've not had good field position. They've had some problems defensively, though. They just have not been able to match the physical nature of MacArthur so far.
Here's a toss left, and nothing at all.
I like the sweeping action here because that at least keeps the mesh point from getting clogged up. That's been really where the turnover issue has been. But, man, the Cardinals doing a good job of getting to the football. Almost too good. You almost have them set up for a tight end to kind of leak out and to go the other direction and to see if they'll stay true. They're almost over-pursuing, as they say.
Kenji Hornbuckle on the handoff. This is Jada Wolfolk, and Wolfolk crosses at 35. But back to the rules, Scott. So you like the consistency from the college to the high school level with one uniform.
Yeah, you know, Tony Stigliano, who assigns a lot of officials, he and I had a long conversation about how, you know, when they're assigning these refs games to work, these officials.
And they're thin, as it is.
Yeah. They're thin, but they don't like to move them from level to level because the rules are so different generally in other states. But that's why you can see a guy at the high school level on Friday night go and officiate on Saturday because you're using the same rule book.
From the 36, over left guard is Hornbuckle, a junior, one of 20. More underclassmen than seniors this year for him. It's just 7 seniors, 20 juniors, 8 sophomores, and 2 freshmen.
Yeah, and Hornbuckle, one of these juniors, he's the strongest kid in the program, but he kind of ran into his own guy that time, and it forces a 4th down and 3, and still early enough to where you can punt this football away and hope that your defense can come up with a stop.
Their second punt, Rolando King back in return posture for the Cardinals. There he is, number 5.
Nimitz doesn't have a first down yet tonight.
Omar Molina, a running kick, and he may have sliced it. Is it?
That ball may be live.
Yeah, touch first, and then able to get to it, a Viking.
I thought Anthony Jimenez touched that ball. Nimitz should have it. They're ruling it's going to be Nimitz's ball.
Yeah, number 33. It looked like it glanced off the right side of his shoulder.
It was initially blocked, spinning into the air, and then touched past the line of scrimmage. And when you do that, all of a sudden, all bets are off, and it's a live football, so Nimitz will have it. Let's look at it again.
Yeah, it's Willoughby on the line.
Yeah. Ball got blocked right there. Nice job by Seaworth to get over there and block it, but then it was touched. And right when Jimenez touched it, that's when the ball was live again. So a huge break here for Nimitz. You get a score, you're back in it.
From the 43, another fumble and another fumble recovery for the Cardinals.
Wow.
That's Morris, Tex Morris.
Wolfolk puts it on the ground. He's a converted cornerback. He's going to go to Bethany College, a Division II school. But, man, you've got to hold on to the football, and that's not even hard. I mean, you just, you've got to make sure that you have the ball. I mean, that's not a mesh point issue. The quarterback put it right where it needed to be. That's just not focusing and not concentrating there by Wolfolk. That's not the quarterback's issue right there.
Third fumble and another recovery for Tex Morris. And another opportunity to wear the chain.
Wow. Was that number 3 tonight?
Third fumble, his second.
That's 3 fumbles in what, 4 possessions? Man, we've had we fumble, punt,
Two
fumble,
punts.
fumble.
Yeah. From the 47, Casas Willis loading up, going deep, one-on-one coverage, and batted away intended for Banner Nicholas, but it hung up a little bit too tall.
Man, Cordell DeGray very upset with himself. He had one pick coming in, an interception against Grand Prairie last week. That was almost 2 picks in 2 weeks. He was right there. Boy, Willis steps into this football. It's a nice throw, but he threw it into double coverage, just kind of hoping that, you know, his guy, Nicholas, could go up and make a play. But when you're double covered like that, I mean, you got to have that football. We mentioned he's the do-it-all safety. He's going to play in college. He's a big hitter. But, man, you've got to come down with that ball.
And he played the ball, not the man.
Yes.
That was a great coverage. Running play and moved sideways as Davis, and Davis slammed down hard at the 49. Jalen Parks came in late.
This is the best that Nimitz has played the run. You like to see 9 guys within 5 yards of the football 90% of the time. They've not gotten that tonight except for on that last play. That was a really good job to force the 3rd down and long. Linebackers did their job. Everybody had gap control. Really good job of the front 7 in what they call the run hole for these Vikings.
From the 49 of Nimitz, it's 3rd and 7. Wyatt Davis looking for an avenue, and it closes quickly at about the 46.
But the benefit you've got here is it's early second quarter, yes, but you're up by 3 scores, and now it's a 4th down and short. I don't see how there's any way MacArthur punched this football, but we'll see. Nicholas thought about sending the punting unit out that said, no, let's keep the offense. And they said, no, let's go ahead and punt.
Yeah, coming on, you see the skill people, and among them is Ismail Overland, number 10.
You know, if Nimitz moved the ball at all the first 17 minutes consistently, I don't think they punt this football. I think they go for it, but I think the defense is dominating so much, they're not worried about it. They don't want to give Nimitz any sort of field position here. In a normal game, I think they go for it.
Back deep is DeGreat. Abrego.
Oh, they're going to fake it.
It's a fake, and look at the running room. 35-30, sidesteps the defender. The chase is on, trying to undercut him at the 10, and look at this MacArthur Cardinal play. What a nice play. It fooled everybody.
41 yards on the run right there on the fake punt. I was like, why would they be punting the football? Oh, they weren't. They were just going to go ahead and run the fake. And the defenders not excited about rallying to the ball against that big man. Man, is he huge. He is 6 feet, 194. We see some business decisions being made down there by the defense. Nobody wants to step in front of that guy. Who would? Man, that guy is fantastic. That's a freshman, John.
Jaden Burnett.
And I thought, man, there's no way they're punting that football. No, they didn't. They went ahead and just ran it out of punt formation there. And they are poised to take what would be a 4-score lead here.
And a timeout as soon as the Cardinals try to get the playoff. 7:44 to go in the first half. The Cardinals take the timeout. And some of the big guys came in quickly in the backfield. At Rigardo at 290. Caggio at 265. That alignment with 3 right behind the center.
Yeah, Caggio's a good one, 5'9", 265, as you mentioned. They've got a good offensive line. Ortiz Cruz, we haven't talked a lot about him, that big center, number 55. He's got a bright future. Talk about a leader, an ROTC guy. The offensive line for this MacArthur team, they're kind of unsung because you've got skill guys and running backs that are just fantastic. But the O-line much improved year over year for MacArthur.
Well, they have moved guys in and out this entire first half. Guards, tackles, everyone but the center. So following the timeout, 1st and goal. Tim Cruz, Mr. Rocksteady center, number 55. Set to get this play off. There's a look from the cornerback. A 6-man front for the Vikings. Now the shift to the right in the backfield. Banner Nicholas, he will take it, he will run and score his 2nd touchdown. The district utility player of the year last year with another touchdown.
He's got speed, he can run great routes, but anytime he has the ball in his hands, look out. This guy can get to the edge, and if you don't set the edge, you are in for a long night. They have yet to contain him. This guy, Banner Nicholas, the coach's son. See why he ran for over 300 last year and 3 touchdowns as a wide receiver. You know, they'll put him at running back. They'll run him as a wildcat quarterback. He is a great athlete, one of the top ones in the district, no question.
Second rushing touchdown tonight as they get their full complement, and they go for 2 here. And they will. No conventional extra point. Brock Casas-Willis, he fumbles a snap and just covers us up, so that goes awry, but they do have 6 more to make it 25-0.
Cardinals have had problems on place kicks tonight.
That and the fumbleitis for Nimitz.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the
that too.
Athletics Department. Recognition.
A season's worth of fumbles here from Nimitz so far in this first half. But, man, if you don't get to the edge, if you're an outside backer or a cornerback, you've got to be ready. I know they line up as if it's going to be an inside run, but they really own the speed measurement tonight. And when they get everybody in, that's what they're trying. They're trying to suck everybody in because they know they can beat them to the edge. Pretty good concept, right? Really good play call, good coaching by Irving MacArthur.
Just untouched as if he were quarantined. I mean, nobody around him.
Yeah, nobody around him again. And it's hard when you get those defensive ends are getting reached. The tackles are doing such a great job of turning those guys in. They can't fight, can't press, can't stay outside. And boy, Banner Nitzler, you see why he was the 7-6A utility player of the year. Remember last week, 5 for 107 and a touchdown. And also had a touchdown called back in that game.
5 possessions, 4 scores here in the first half from Mac. Max Flores-Lepe will kick it off. It is short, and somebody has to come to the ball. They do with the 27, crossing the 30, 35. Another fumble. It is loose, and number 24 able to get to it, Brian Ortiz.
Another turnover for Nimitz. An absolute disastrous half for the Vikings tonight. They fumbled the first two snaps from scrimmage of the game, and it has been an absolute fumble fest.
And tonight, I mean, you're just giving the Cardinals the ball in the red zone. I don't care where it is, 40, 45.
Neither of these two teams, going into the season, neither of the two teams were projected to make the playoffs. But Irving MacArthur, they are much improved from last year. A season last year that saw them lose to these Vikings. They were 3-7 last year. Let's watch it again. You just got to keep it high and tight. I mean, that's just simple. And the Cardinals are really good. They're doing a good job of sensing blood in the water, and they're poking at that ball every chance that they get.
Jordan Seaworth, number 7, poked it loose. We're on the 42, another running play up the middle. Guess who? Burnett, 20, 15, 10, and Burnett walloped out of bounds, but it's 1st and goal. Took a hard shot at the end. But picks up, 40 on the gain?
40 on the gain, another explosive run. They've had 2 40-plus yard runs the last 2 times they've snapped the ball. The fake punt and now from scrimmage here. And this has been absolute domination so far. You watch it, boy, the offensive line doing a good job of just firing off. And linebackers nowhere to be found. Nobody plugging the A-gap, ball side or backside.
As we come back, a toss and a catch, but a marker down as Olamati had the reception. And immediately a penalty marker dropped against Nimitz. A shove.
It's against the Cardinals here, but hey, the only thing stopping the Cardinals tonight, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're seeing because they've had a couple of holding calls. We saw, what was it, not a blind side, it was a
chop block.
Chop block, thank you, chop block. And they've overcome everything.
So it'll mark it at the 7, a 5-yard penalty. 1st and goal from the 7, full house backfield. Running play, and Wyatt Davis untouched. Davis untouched, able to get to the double strike before Benson, and another touchdown off of another possession.
Man, a simple lead play. Another 6-yard touchdown run. And they're just making it look way easy tonight.
So Davis has 2 scores, one from 1, this one from 7.
Remember last week they had 3 different guys score 2 touchdowns.
Yards on the ground tonight in the first half. Scott's got to be closing in on 240. Oh, gosh. Number 52 on the extra point. That's Abrego, able to nail it through.
well over 100 yards here on the ground. They're over 203 for the half.
203.
And I tell you, it seems like it's 300 yards because they're doing anything they want to do, but they've been given such short fields that the numbers haven't really been piling up like you would think.
That touchdown coming almost 30 seconds after the previous Banner Nitzler 7-yard run. Flag on the extra point.
Personal foul. Defense.
Got a hold on Nimitz.
15-yard penalty enforced on the kickoff.
You know, one of the things that Coach Nitzler had mentioned was the offensive line playing so well together. They do it again, just a simple lead play. That's Jaden Burnett leading the way there for Wyatt Davis. Davis putting it in the end zone again. I love how these running backs block for each other. You see that a lot of that for most teams in the screen game, where wide receivers have to get out in front and block on bubble screens, tunnel screens, and just simple wide receiver screens. Well, on this team tonight, they've been doing a lot of inside runs, and they'll run some pro sets where they've got a couple of running backs, and one will lead the way for another. And this is sort of what you get. That's why you list Davis, Washington, Banton, and Burnett. Coach Nitzler has to be really pleased with what he sees. Kenneth Lacey, see him down there. Coach Brandon Jones, and Coach McClellan, Daniel Smith, Coach Arnold, Coach Aller, Coach Candelaria, all of these guys on the offensive side of the ball have to be very pleased with what they're seeing. There's not a lot of resistance tonight, so it's really more about the Cardinals than it is the Vikings.
It is, yeah.
But this is just about executing, and you can't get complacent either. Really, that's the one thing that MacArthur has sort of been echoing in practice. You just can't get complacent. You can't get to a point where you think you've got games won, because every snap builds on another, just kind of dominoes. And it's not really about this game tonight for the Cardinals. This is about going strong into district play, and if you can beat both of the Irving schools, you got a chance to make the playoffs.
15-yard penalty against Nimitz assessed on this kickoff as it goes out of bounds.
Johns, I'll tell you, John, I have been talking about this now for the better part of 3 years. When you kick off on the opponent's side of the field from the 45-yard line, it should be an automatic. It should be an automatic onside kick right there. And Brett Nitzler, he's a little bit upset that they didn't run and grab that football off that second hop. And you see him talking. He's kind of telling Donovan Wilson, hey, you got to have that next time. But hey, a tip of the cap to Beck Nitzler. It's not about running up the score here. It's about, hey, when you're on the plus 45, why not onside kick it? Hey, nothing positive happened for the Cardinals there, and yet still Nimitz is having to begin at their own 35-yard line. But you never see teams do that.
But even if it does not work, even if it fails, you have it at the 35.
And I don't understand why teams don't do it.
Deep toss and one of the longest run, and another fumble as it squirts out of the hands of Woolfolk. It's still loose. Oh, like a broken record. Have we seen this before? Number 5, Rolando King on the football. 1, 2, 3, 4 fumbles, 5 counting this one on the kickoff return. Before this, well, it's as good as an onside kick, I guess, Scott. It's you just play for their mistake.
I can't remember the last time I saw this many. That's the 5th fumble of the half. Fifth fumble of the half. And, you know, again, it's just guys. And that time, I mean, he's just not holding it. He had it high. He just didn't have it tight. Usually you see guys with it high and tight. That time he had it high but didn't have it tight. But I got to credit now Rolando King, because a lot of guys would try to scoop that thing and run with it and then fumble it and give it back to the opponent. But at least he had the presence of mind to hop down on it.
Handle the football tonight like a bar of soap. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Overshooting the receiver at the 15-yard line. I mean, every kind of unconventional fumble as well. It's been out of the hands of your own faults. It's been poked away. It's been kicked away.
Yeah. You know, the challenge that Anthony Small has, and this is his 4th season, that completely changed the offense. He's been at Nimitz 10 years. They're just trying to change the culture. 21st overall at Nimitz. But the challenge he's got here is to keep his guys from playing to the scoreboard. Really, both coaches have that issue. but particularly on the Nimitz side, because what happens is, adolescents, these teenagers, they start looking and they start to sulk and they start to get their dauber. They don't understand. It's not really about this game. Okay, this game's out of hand. You're probably not going to win it, but you've got to execute because there's a game next week. This is about creating good habits for your team.
Timothy Banton, number 22, the inside receiver. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Casas Willis wants to hand it off, and he does to Banton. Banton breaks to the outside, gets a block, 25, 20, 15. Banton to the 10, and has it inside the 10 on the reverse. Almost didn't work.
This is probably going to come back for a blindside block against the Cardinals here.
Personal foul. Blindside block. Number 1 on the offense.
It is going to be a blindside block against the Cardinals. Pretty easy call right there. We talked about that before. They almost got called for that about 2 possessions ago. When a guy's coming one way, you can't hit him when they don't see you, and you're coming the other way. They used to call that a crackback block. They used to be completely legal, but they've taken that out of the game because of some safety issues. Guys were just getting their blocks knocked off, and so no more blindside block. Let's watch this again. Right there, you saw that was Banner Nicholas who completely kicked out. It looked like the cornerback. Man, he took a hit too there around the 8-yard line, but you can't do that.
If you see the number, don't throw the block.
That's it. And it's hard, though, because well, just turn and get in front of him. Well, it's hard because this is such a violent sport to tell a guy not to do that.
This one is fumbled by Nicholas on the reverse. He picks it up and turns it into a positive. Nicholas stacked up at the 35.
I thought that should have been a double dribble.
He pawned it.
He traveled with that ball, didn't he?
And Nicholas, it bounces right.
Oh, man, everything going right for the Cardinals tonight.
32. But have you ever, Scott, at any level seen 5 fumbles in the first half from anybody?
No.
Any team.
And it's been weird because 2 of them were mesh points. 2 of them were just guys not having the ball high and tight. Another one just came out of nowhere where the ball was poked away. So just everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for the Vikings.
3rd and 15 from the 35. And this is a pass to the other side intended for Davis. Everybody took the fake to the near side, and Davis open to the other side.
And that fake designed to freeze linebackers to try and free up.
It's a good play, though.
It was trying to free up White Davis to get him into man coverage over there, and he was with the safety. Again, they're sort of pulling everything out here. These are plays that they practiced that until you run them in a game, you don't feel all that comfortable with it. So they're running these plays, these gadget plays, these misdirection plays, not necessarily for tonight's game, but they're going to use these down the road. And that's why film study is so important. When you're the opponent, when you're going to play MacArthur, you're going to look back and watch the Nimitz tape and see that.
Trips to the far side, and as soon as Casas Willis backpedals, Laundry comes to the turf, more yellow on the green. It was a lengthy 3rd down. Motion. So a 5-yard march off places it at the 40. Cardinals need to get to the 20, so need to gain about 20 yards, and no decision here as they'll punt it away. Abrego comes on.
They faked it last time. I would think that they would just go ahead and punt this thing right here. They're not going to have anybody deep, or at least maybe they'll just move the safety back to guard against the fake. But I can't imagine they would fake at 32-0 on 4th and 20.
The great, and
a timeout was called.
I think they got it before the snap. They called time.
No penalty.
Offense number 33. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, put it the 45, so now DeGreat, who was back by himself, he may come up here.
You know, what's interesting is that MacArthur, while they have rolled in this game, there's only been one possession where they have not been flagged offensively.
4th and 25. Nobody back deep for Irving Nimitz, and this one is a skyscraper. Hits at the 20, goes sideways, and rolls out of bounds at about the 18.
What's interesting, Brock Casas Willis, the quarterback for MacArthur, he's had a good night so far, a good first half, 101 yards, that's good. But 60%, 9 of 15, that's good, very good. It's not elite, And that's the level, really, that Coach Nicholas wants his team to get to. They want him to get to the elite level. He came in the upper 50s in terms of percentage. The great quarterbacks at the next level, they're really tickling 70%. And so you would really like, in this day and age in football, you'd like your quarterback to at least be low 60s, mid 60s. If you can get in the upper 60s, that's really good, but you want it better than 54%.
Landon Tywater is a tight end on the left side. It's a running play, and Hornbuckle is stuffed. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Number 40 right in the middle of the mix, Ricky Garza, a junior at 275.
Yeah, Ricky Garza's really good too. He's got good speed. Garza, a guy that they'll rotate in there. This defense, they've kind of had their way, but again, this is about making plays. You look at the defense for MacArthur. They give up about 172 on the ground, 113 through the air. You give up more than about 120 a game, and defensive coordinators start to kind of get a little bit nervous, but Ricky Garza, he's the junior defensive tackle.
On the 8th possession, a quick opener, nice running room, 35-40, and crossing the 40-yard line, the longest offensive play of the night so far, Jalen Harris.
No doubt. And again, first downs have been few and far between, to the point where...
Well, we got a fight. We got some
we
shoving at the 35, some shoving back and forth downfield. Here come a couple of penalty flags.
That was the first down of the game offensively for Nimitz.
Well after the play, I had a mix-up at about the 35. It was broken up quick, whatever took place. So the run by Harris, personal foul.
Number 12 on the Cardinals. He's ejected.
We have a player ejected.
Oh, wow.
Apparently,
Josh Fernandez, it looked like, was
free safety
when ejected. Yeah, Fernandez, he's the senior, big surprise guy that they were kind of lauded because he worked so hard, big hitter, big physical guy, but no place for that.
And again, it came well after the play. I suddenly looked to my left and saw some shoving, mixing up at about the 35. So, with 4:40 to go in this first half, a 32-0 Cardinal lead. Nimitz has it at the 42 of MacArthur. On the sweep, Wolfe, 35. Nose dives to the 32.
Well, that's a really nice play. This is finally part of the game now. They're finally getting their bearings here. A quarter and a half into this thing, they're down 32-0. But again, I like the fact that they come out here and you see them, they're focused, they're executing. Good effort here up front from these guys. And this Viking team, this drive looks so much better, and I love how they're not playing to the scoreboard.
Oh, you got to think, hey, there's still some meat on the bone. We got to make a statement here. Let's get back in this game at the 30-0 at all.
And this is really about the offensive line. These are the heroes of this line. Edgar Escobar, you see him down there, great kid, always doing his job, executing, and really exceeding expectations. A young sophomore. They've got some young ones. The center's a sophomore. The left tackle's a sophomore. The guard, the left side of the line, all underclassmen. The left guard, a freshman. Virgilio Gomez, a 188-pound guard, a freshman. He's learning on the fly.
2nd and 8 as they bunch up offensively right into the center as it continues to move, and the surge, Jalen Harris.
Boy, did you see the left side of that line? Aaron Akala, how about him, man? Talk about great ball get off. Boy, last year he got hurt, but man, he finishes off. You saw him. He almost pancaked a guy there way through the echo of the whistle.
They need 2 here on 3rd down. 3:30 to go in the half, trailing 32-0 from the 26. 3rd and a long 2, short 3, and not going to get it. Thrown back hard, Harris, and another flag and some shoving, talking. Another one. And there's another one, number 8, just hitting the face mask. That's Jaden Nimitz hitting the face mask of one of the Viking players.
No love lost between these two. Nimitz and MacArthur meeting to open up district for the 3rd straight year, just kind of by happenstance.
What can go wrong has gone wrong here in the first half for the Vikings.
We have fouls on both teams.
And penalties galore and
foul,
more coming. Personal foul on both sides.
Number 58 of the offense. Personal foul, unsportsmanlike. Number 40 of the defense. Penalties will offset. 3rd down.
Unsportsmanlike on both sides. And let's see, one of the offensive linemen, that's Wolford getting up, or rather, Harris getting up.
Yeah, can't do that. That's Cole Wallace taking it in the face there from Jaden Nigich, the cornerback.
Okay, from the 25. They've got time, 3:15. Out over the ball, waiting the offensive center, Nathan Mullenix. He going to get this play off.
Yeah, both teams getting flagged here. Referee having a hard time sorting this thing out. And you know, going into the locker room, both coaches are going to address this. You know, it's just, you can't have that in a game like this.
Have you ever had a personal foul against a statistician or your color partner?
The only
that
one
carries into the booth.
The only one I've seen, Dave South one time. Remember what happened to him, the Aggie broadcaster, back in the Southwest Conference days at Reunion Arena in the conference tournament?
In
the
basketball.
referee turned in basketball.
In basketball, yeah.
Ejected him from the arena.
He stopped play. He came over to the scorer's table, and then he took off his headset. What's going on?
They're still down there talking. You saw Beck Nicholas down there talking with the official.
Dave South, yeah.
Yeah, good old Dave South.
Whenever the Aggies would lose, it would be Aggies lose. Aggies lose. Well, this is a hard night for the officials as well.
It is.
I mean, they've got eyes in the back of them. They can't see everything, but this is tough on them, too.
They've thrown a ton of flags, though. MacArthur's been flagged at least once.
Going to have sore arms tomorrow.
Yeah, every offensive possession.
This is the 9th. Let's see, this drive started at the 18. This is our 9th possession as Anthony Mark Small in discussion. Who was it? What happens next? Who's left? Who's in the game? Who's not?
8 penalties against MacArthur tonight. Just 1 against Nimitz.
8 flags on Mac.
Yes.
Okay. What happens is out to about 65 yards, at least 70 tonight.
We had this discussion the other day. How many penalty yards equal a turnover?
Penalty yards to a turnover. Wow.
Let's see.
30?
I would say
Maybe
30. I would say
30?
I would say 30. That's the guess that I had. Probably every 30 yards you could just chalk it. It's almost like a turnover,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is.
Boy, Anthony Small wasn't very happy. He's a really good coach. Again, he's in his 4th season here with Nimitz. And there's Beck Nicholas, the head coach for Irving MacArthur.
I can't control it. We've got 5 fumbles. We've got possessions of it.
Mark Small always wanted to coach. His dad was a coach. He said his dad always said, hey, life's meaningless if you don't have legacy. And that's one of the things that Anthony Small talks about with his coaching staff. And really it's about making men. And they've had problems now. They've had problems running the slot team. But everybody's got to buy in. The players have to buy in. The coaches have to buy in.
Having none of this tonight. Wow, look at it.
Yeah, he's very intense, but he knows, hey, you cannot waste a play here because every play for these young players is all seasoning.
4th and 3, and a first down. How about this? Twisting, turning, still on his feet, and a first down as a Viking collected at about the 15.
And you can see it. You can see that this scheme that Chase Burns has brought with him his first season as the offensive coordinator, learning from Coach Hare over at Jasper, really helps them with the personnel that they've got. And when everybody runs in unison and the offensive line doing a good job of blocking, Down there, you saw that Kevin Rodriguez getting down in there and throwing that early block, doing a good job.
Quick handoff to Harris from Wallace. 2:44 clock moving.
They would love to be able to keep this football until the end of the half. This is what they do. And you say, well, they got to hurry up and score. It's not really about coming back in this one. I don't know that they'll score 32 points in a game all year, at this rate. They did score 27 last week, but it's very hard to put up points in a hurry. They don't want that many possessions. They would like a game where each team only has it 4 to 5 times.
And they get the ball to begin the second half.
Yeah.
Hornbuckle shoved back.
That Hornbuckle, you shove him back. He's the strongest kid in that Nimitz program. He's the vocal leader. He's the coach on the field. He's the guy that makes all of the adjustments, but Hornbuckle that time got pushed back by 2 or 3 guys. It doesn't take that many. Look at the size on Idris Ibrahim. Man, he is a converted offensive lineman, but he has picked up defense very, very well.
You talked about legacy, Scott. It may be MacArthur that leaves the legacy tonight after this is all said and done.
Well, they've done a good job, and they're not so much worried about the legacy. They'd love to get a district win to open up district play, and you see Anthony Small talking with Cole Wallace, the quarterback. And this is 3rd down. It's 3rd down and goal for the most part from the 10. And you would love to come away with some points here. It would certainly make the locker room at halftime a lot better. And not a lot has gone right for Nimitz here in this first half, fumbling 5 times.
Yeah, we have met the enemy, and it is us.
Yes.
That has to be the last time out here.
Man versus himself for Nimitz tonight, no question.
It's got to be the final timeout. 2 minutes. It's at the 10. Needing to get to the 5 for a first down, but you're thinking anything less than 7 is just a failure here. Okay, the O-line set. Here we go. Number 58, last man on, Rogelio Gomez.
Hey, I love the anchors on the back of the
helmets.
You like that?
It's a Naval Academy look.
I love that.
The Viking ship.
Yes.
In baseball, they play at the shipyard. Nimitz Vikings diamond is called the shipyard.
I love this old school sprint out of the huddle look.
3rd and 5.
Nice fake.
Wallace through the end zone, in the back of the end zone. Number 40, Rodriguez.
Nice play fake. Man, was that a great play fake. That's his first touchdown catch of the year. Rodriguez with, a guy that big shouldn't have hands that good.
That caps off an 82-yard drive. It started at the 18.
Hey, these young kids, the sophomore Escobar, the freshman Gomez at guard, the sophomore center, man, this is really good for them to fight through this adversity. Great job throwing to the corner that time. I thought a great fake by Wallace, too. Man, what great execution. It's one of these where, as a coach, you'd say, man, I love a mulligan. Man, could we just start this whole game over right now? Because we're playing with fight that we should have had an hour ago.
So Wallace on the toss to Rodriguez from 10 yards out. And they're going for 2 over the right side. And denied.
Boy, size just too much. They tried to overload it. But, man, they had 7 guys right on the A-gap.
Access denied, trying to get the 2-point conversion. But they're on the board. No shutout. 32-6. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. So they go they go on the entire length of the field, 82 yards. But Wallace's sprint out right here, he knows it's to the back of the end zone. But to whom? You have 2 of them, and able to get outside of Wolfolk. So Rodriguez.
Well, it looked like tackle eligible right there, didn't it, with Rodriguez? Hey, he can move for a guy that big. Love the hands, just waiting on it.
Yeah.
Nicely done. That was a great toss by Wallace, too, on the move without his feet being set.
Able to get away from Jeremiah Johnson, the defensive back, number 21. So Nimitz on the board. They'll kick off here and try to regroup at halftime. They get the ball to begin the second half. It's just a matter of holding on to it, Scott, and just trying to, gain a couple of first downs, make some misdirection plays, have that quick open to work. It has tonight at times with Harris, number 10.
I can't remember what I said, but That was Rodriguez's second catch of the year and his second touchdown catch of the year. Really nice.
October 30th. Nimitz Vikings home to one of the Richardson schools.
Richardson Pierce.
So the Mustangs of Pierce make a house call on the 30th. Yeah, last week Cole Wallace just 2 of 2 in passing. And in the opener, not a pass thrown.
No, I mean he's gone there'll be a couple of games where he hasn't thrown a pass. He's good. They could start opening up this run game with the pass some. He's good enough to do that.
Molina hammers it deep and will come out to the 25.
You can see, Nimitz has some parts in play. You can see they haven't won a game yet, but they sure got close last week at Grand Prairie. There were 4 lead changes against Grand Prairie with Nimitz last week. You can see these young guys are getting better. They're improving each and every week, and that's really what you want when you're changing the system, you're changing the culture. You get 4 lead changes in a game, and Woolfolk ran for 102 last week. Jalen Harris had 85 yards on 14 carries, a couple of touchdowns. Yeah, it was a rough start, rough half, probably the worst half of the year. 5 fumbles, you're down 32-6. But you can see some bright spots, and I guarantee you Anthony Small's not going to go in the he's not going to beat these kids down in the locker room. He's not going to hammer them. They're going to focus on the positives. I promise you, that was a great drive just then.
Up the middle and no gain at all. Halloween night, you saw the menu. We'll see the Cardinals on Halloween night. Irving High, the city's oldest high school, and the Cardinals square off on October 31st. 2nd and a dime with 1:30 to go in the half.
I keep wondering when that first cold front's going to get here.
We always talk about that, Scott. When Rob is here, we talk about, well, why November? Why not the first week of October or the last week in September?
Well, former East Texas A&M head football coach Eddie Brister always said, everybody thinks football is a cold weather sport. It's absolutely a hot weather sport. It doesn't get cold in the playoffs.
I thought it was a contact sport.
Well, it is that. It's that too. Sometimes, depending on what kind of defense you got.
Yeah, well, if you're soft, it isn't.
That's right.
A gain of 3 is 3rd and 7 with 1:15. Clock stopped on the out of bounds. Halftime activities will have highlights, stats, band action, running play. 30, Wyatt Davis 35. Davis tripped up at the 38. As arm tackle to save further yardage downfield for Davis.
Now Juan Barron, who only had 6 tackles coming in, I thought was going to be able to get to the point of attack, but just could not quite do it. Boy, Davis has had a monster first half. He is quite the running back.
He's back next year. Derek Washington back. Burnett back for 3 more.
Davis 8 carries, 65 yards. How about Burnett? You talked about him. 9 carries, 116 coming into the drive. They've got 5 rushing touchdowns tonight. Burnett 1, Davis 2, Nicholas 2.
From the 39, they'll throw the screen intended for Davis.
Yeah, and see, that's the play that they want executed. And I know it's somewhat meaningless in a game like this, but it's really not, because
it was there. The play was there.
It was there, and you got to make a better pass. You've got to catch that ball. I know the pressure was there, but Cassius Willis, if you'll start making those plays, if you'll start just making that touch pass, all of a sudden, the percentage will go from 55% to 65%.
2nd and 10. Davis to the outside, 45 to midfield.
Boy, and a great seal block there to the inside. Really nice job by Jaden Burnett to seal off Damian Lopez, almost to the point where you thought maybe a flag might come out for another crackback block.
From the 50, and
I don't think everybody was set.
No, they weren't. They were in movement. Cardinals will be assessed 5. But at this point, leading 32-6, you want to kind of end the first half on a nice drive, even if you don't score.
Sure. But this is about running your 2-minute offense again. In all of these scenarios, you're practicing for succeeding games.
Legal shift. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Illegal shift. So 5 more added in penalty yardage to the Cardinals.
You look at this run again, and I love again how, and there's that block that we talked about. Such a good one. You thought maybe a crackback block, but Jaden Burnett blocking for Davis. A couple of drives ago, it was Davis blocking for Burnett. You got Washington and Van. All those running backs do a great job of blocking for each other on the edge, and they're good at it too. They're not afraid to stick their nose in there. They've got size. Man, the size of these backs, 210 pounds. Burnett, the freshman, 194 pounds. You got to love that.
1st and 15, full house backfield. And here's Banner Nicholas. Nicholas following his blocking. Now bounces to the outside and is ushered out of bounds.
That's great execution. But it looks like you're on the sled right there. You had a couple of H-backs there with a tight end that direction. They overload the boundary side, and they didn't really adjust to it. They just have more hats. There's just more hats than the Vikings can deal with, and what a great run. Messiah Ford kind of on skates there.
Ball spotted at the 38.
Explosive plays on the ground tonight here in the first half for the Cardinals.
Close to 40 yards on the drive. Nicholas the other way. 30, first down 25, 20. Nicholas inside the 15. Finally taken down by Messiah Ford. A nice ankle tackle. Or Nicholas would have had 5 more yards.
28 more. You said the other side. That was the same play the other side. They're going to do it again on this side.
From the 11.
When's the last time you saw a guy go in motion to get wildcat and then to clock the ball?
Spiked it with 14 seconds. Well, obviously, they have something. They want to run something here inside.
They were trying to run wildcat, and then they realized, oh, wait, we need to clock the ball here. And fortunately, you had the coach's son that ran wildcat. He's got a very high IQ being the coach's son, and said, let's just clock it here.
That field shrinks, so
yes.
Let's see what they have here on 2nd and 10 from the 11.
They don't have a timeout.
In the backfield is Archie Mitchell. Now they shift to the right behind the guard and tackle. So Nicholas looking for an avenue. He's got it. He's got it from the 5 to the pylon. And Banner Nicholas with another one. 11 yards out.
For the MacArthur touchdown.
Banner Nicholas in a foot race to the edge. They overload just a quarterback sweep out of wildcat. I think that's the play they wanted to run when they clocked it. They didn't change it. And that's just a foot race. That's just, I'm a better athlete than you. Can you beat me to the pylon? I doubt you can. And a nice job of squaring up his shoulder pads at the pylon and sticking that pigskin over there to get the touchdown.
75-yard drive capped off by the 11-yard scamper of Banner Nicholas. And the count now goes to 38-6.
Romero Ortega, 5'9", 315-pound sophomore late getting on.
The hold is high. The snap was high, but it just creeps over the crossbar. It kisses the paint.
How about that?
A paint swapper on the extra point. Okay, Banner Nicholas. 1, 2, 3. What's he got? Yards to the ground. Wow.
Watch this again. They get Nicholas, and all he's got to do is get to the. They try to reach. They didn't even really get the block on Lopez they wanted, but watch that. Nice job just to reach over, dive inside the pylon to get the touchdown. Again, they didn't get the reach block that they wanted, but didn't need to. Nicholas is that fast. And when he saw that safety come over, he said, I think I'll go ahead and dive underneath the great, who's their biggest hitter in the 3rd level, and comes up with the touchdown.
Somersaults inside the pylon.
7-6A utility player of the year last year as a junior. He'll run some wildcat, but this guy play offense, defense, had a sack last week on defense. He can do it all. He's a great athlete.
3rd rushing touchdown tonight. And time for one more Cardinal kickoff in this first half. You want to see the kicker busy. You want to be busy as a kicker.
You do want to be busy.
Max Floor Sleepy. Seven seconds. It's a spinner, it's short, it's loose. Went off the kneecap of one of the Vikings right into the arms of number 22.
Did he recover that in midair?
Close to it if he didn't.
Catch that somersaulting Tamoy Banton? I want to see that again.
I couldn't tell if it bounced off the knee of a defender.
He looked like a gymnast.
Man, another turnover. Well, let's call it a design kickoff.
Man, what a play.
Yeah.
No, he went head over heels after grabbing. They got to be careful, man. You can really hyperextend your knee on a play like that, but well, he recovers that full speed. He recovered that full speed sprinting right there.
Went off of Jalen Parks, number 23.
Tamoy Banton, senior. Hey, the way that they're kicking these days, I'm surprised high school kickers aren't attempting these 55-yarders.
Yeah, it's changed the game completely. You're giving full scholarships now to every good kicker, at least in college. Middle screen, 30,
Gotta
25,
go all the way here.
20, and it ends on a play to Timothy Banton. And look out, you got to separate some of these players here before they head to the locker room, and here's a flag, penalty flag. And more crosstalk, shoving, chirping. That flag will be, could be assessed on the second half kickoff, Scott.
Let's see. A lot of chirping for a 39-6 game.
After the
Okay.
play is over,
Randy Moss.
unsportsmanlike. Number 3, Nimitz. Penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
And finally the first half ends, but it ends on a penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of the half. So, scoring-wise, aplenty for the Cardinals in the first 24 minutes as they take a healthy lead into the locker room. Back with our halftime activities as you see Big D, the State Fair opening today in Dallas. It's all MAC in the first half on our ICTN Game of the Week. From Troy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, it's the ICTN Game of the Week. Number 10 to the end zone. Incredible. And it is 6 for the Vikings. And that will do it.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gandy. On the next City Source, see the improvements now complete on the Lake Carolyn Promenade. We'll also have these stories.
City leaders celebrate the Conflans Road extension. Find out about the impact of this project. And a preview of a big event that will give you the chance to experience Main Street like never before. That's at 6 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16 and Frontier Channel 30, and anytime at youtube.com/The City of Irving. It's hometown news you can't get anywhere else on ICTN City Source.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan Stevens. Be sure to watch Irving Spotlight as we speak with an Irving native who shares his experience as a production designer on some of the hottest films and shows in Hollywood. And we see what's lighting up the big screen at Heritage Park for the upcoming Movies on Main series. So tune in for the September 19th episode on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16, and Frontier Channel 30, and on YouTube at The City of Irving, as we spotlight the city's arts, culture, and entertainment.
7-6A opener here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium in Irving, as Irving MacArthur enjoying the 39-6 lead over Nimitz. It is halftime And we're going to see the Nimitz Marching Band to start halftime tonight.
Staff of the week is Mr. Harris. The Vikings were led onto the field by their officers, Captain Michaela King, First Lieutenant Melissa Valdez, Lieutenant Yasmin Salazar, Lieutenant Imelda Rodriguez, and Sergeant Jada Cervantes. Social officers are President Evelyn Holder, Historian Jasmine Martinez, and Community Liaison Brianna Martinez. Our pep of the week is Florbel Castro. Our pep of the week is Sofia Cuevas. Our smile of the week is Jacqueline Guevara. Our spirit of the week is Naomi Melara. Our Vika of the week is Alexandra Amaya. Our staff of the week is Mr. Ewing. Vika's managers are Miley Lopez, Isabel Villanueva, Daly Sorto, Anaí Flores, Chelsea Torres, and Fanny Herrera. Now please, enjoy the show as the Cardettes and Vikas perform a palm kick routine to Thunderstruck. Cardettes are under the direction of Neosha White, and the Vikings and Pep Squad are under the direction of Shelly Jones and Aris Lazo. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Nimitz High School Marching Band.
Back here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, 39-6. MacArthur owning the first 24 minutes tonight. District opener between the Vikings and the Cardinals. And the scoring opened up after a few miscues that we saw, but after the fumble, and well, you had a couple of guys. Burnett was one of those that went off, but look at the ball skills that have put your foot in the ground, run into your own guy, power your way in. That gave MacArthur a 2-touchdown lead at that point. And we mentioned the miscues. Not two, but 5 fumbles in that first half. They just poked the ball away. The Cardinals take advantage. They get one of 5 short fields that they had to work with. Took some work there, and you saw Rolando King come up with it. But nice rollout here for Nimitz to get on the board. They dump it to the tight end, Kevin Rodriguez, for his second touchdown grab of the year, his second catch of the season. That at least got the Vikings on the board, but then this guy right here, man, you talk about a guy that can run the ball, he can throw the ball, he can catch the ball. It's why he's the utility player of the year reigning here in the district. Banner Nicholas, the coach's son, coming up with the capper to a 39-6 first half for MacArthur. A MacArthur half that was absolutely dominant on the ground, 234 to 51 in terms of moving the football on the ground, and they have eclipsed their season average for yards in a game. They do it in one half, 338 to 61 tonight. It has been all MacArthur. They really came out. They wanted to avenge the Nimitz defeat last year. It was Nimitz's only win. MacArthur wanted to come out, and boy, did they. They scored in their first 2 drives, and they limited the Nimitz offense to scant minutes in terms of possession in that first half. It was a fun first half, and we'll get ready for half number 2 coming up. The MacArthur Band will showcase tonight here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium.
Drum majors James Brown and Mia Rangel. The MacArthur Band is proud to present their 2025 production entitled From the Ashes.
39-6 as we get set to play half number 2. All MacArthur, 5 Nimitz turnovers, and you saw the halftime stats heavily in favor of Mac, except for penalties, which they have to kind of work on. 13 flags for 119 yards. The Nimitz Vikings will receive the second half kickoff as the Vikings and the Cardinal drill teams in both bands have completed their halftime activities.
From Troy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, it's the ICTN Game of the Week.
Number 10 to the end zone. Incredible. And it is 6 for the Vikings. And that will do it.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gandy. On the next City Source, see the improvements now complete on the Lake Carolyn Promenade. We'll also have these stories.
City leaders celebrate the Conflans Road extension. Find out about the impact of this project. And a preview of a big event that will give you the chance to experience Main Street like never before. That's at 6 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16 and Frontier Channel 30, and anytime at youtube.com/The City of Irving. It's hometown news you can't get anywhere else on ICTN City Source.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan Stevens. Be sure to watch Irving Spotlight as we speak with an Irving native who shares his experience as a production designer on some of the hottest films and shows in Hollywood. And we see what's lighting up the big screen at Heritage Park for the upcoming Movies on Main series. So tune in for the September 19th episode on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16, and Frontier Channel 30, and on YouTube at The City of Irving, as we spotlight the city's arts, culture, and entertainment.
Billed as the ultimate playground for comics, sci-fi, horror, anime, and gaming, it's Dallas Fan Fest. Plan for selfies and autographs with celebrities here at the Irving Convention Center on October 4th and 5th. Flaunt your look on the cosplay red carpet and cosplay competitions. Get ready for the big money tour, John Baptiste Plays America. Baptiste says the show is meant to be healing, liberating, and unforgettable. The performance starts at 8 p.m. on October 5th here at the Toyota Music Factory. Learn technique and get ideas at Vid Summit. The convention is for video creators and influencers and anyone involved in the content creation process. Learn how to increase views from some of the best in the business here at the Irving Convention Center from October 7th through the 9th.
Second half just about ready to commence here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium. The District 7 6A opener. It is all MacArthur in the first 24 minutes as the Irving Nimitz Vikings will receive the second half kickoff and move from right to left. 119, 13 penalties for 119 yards. That's what the Cardinals were penalized in the first half, and that is indeed the case as we surmise that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty assessed on this second half kickoff against Nimitz. So, hey, Scott, here we go from the 45 again.
Yep, there they are, plus 45. What's the rule? Got onside. They already did it once.
They got 6 minutes to 35. And this one is deep, middle deep. And backpedaling, taking it at the 11. And did he call for the fair catch? Yeah, I guess he did. That's Benson.
He's lucky he didn't get called for a delay of game.
Yeah, I thought he might.
After the fair catch. I'm very disappointed we didn't see an onside right there.
I thought we'd see a ground ball and
I know.
A jailbreak on second half.
And we want to thank the Irving ISD Technology and Innovation Department for creating the halftime highlight reel.
So Nimitz in the first half, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 possessions. And here we go at the 25.
9 possessions. That's about 5 more than Nimitz would like to see out of their opponent in a regular game. I mean, you try to limit the possessions. You try to control the clock.
Cole Wallace and a deep pitch over the right side and barreling straight ahead for a couple of yards.
And they were able to get something going there last drive or so. Nimitz was held without a first down for about the first quarter and a half. But remember, they were able to take the football late second quarter, and they drove it 82 yards, capped it off with that 10-yard touchdown pass from Wallace to Rodriguez to get on the board. And obviously that's the driver we saw guys getting flagged and ejections flying all over the place.
Javon Woolfolk for a 2-yard gain. Here's a sweep and a nice run to the other side, 35-40, crossing midfield, and the chase is on and out of bounds inside the 30. So Woolfolk up the middle, now to the outside, and a huge chunk of yardage.
Yeah, and you see why. If they could just get him some space, get him to the second level, this guy's got a little something here. And he had 3 touchdowns coming in. The misdirection, cornerback did not stay home, backside safety wasn't there. And what a run here for Woolfolk.
I got to spot it at the 33. 1st and 10 Nimitz. And not much, maybe a yard, a tough, hard, punishing yard over the right side.
You know, it's assignment football. You cannot lose your discipline. Everybody has a gap. Everybody's got a man. Everybody's got to understand that, you know, you can't bite on all of these fakes. But when this thing gets going, when this slot T gets rolling downhill, it is hard to stop. Because number one, it's hard to figure out who's got the ball. I don't know about you, but it takes us a little bit to figure it out.
45 yards on this current drive.
It was a nice 45-yard run a second ago.
Hornbuckle in the backfield. Here's the handoff, and Woolfolk is stacked up and able to collect 3 yards.
And the misdirection out of the I formation. The next thing you know, you've got an H-back taking a handoff in what ordinarily might be considered an end around. This is a fun offense to watch. It's such old school. You've got to have everybody buy in. But this senior Woolfolk, he's strong. He's a focus kid. He's a guy that kind of took over in the second half last season for the Vikings.
Had 15 carries for over 100 yards a couple of weeks ago, and they continue to ground and pound. And look at this, Harris, Jalen Harris, with a first down.
They love his upside. The sophomore who came in averaging about 5 yards per carry, had a couple of touchdowns already scored. He's fast, he's twitchy, he's got some size for a guy that big. I love watching him run. This guy can move. And man, I love how he keeps his feet moving.
Spotted at the 14. 1st and 10, again, quick up to the ball. And the handoff up the middle and inside the 5. And as loose is picked up at the goal line. Gabriel Backery with a quick fumble recovery and another turnover, the 6th. They had it going so nicely on the ground, and a flag. Couldn't tell if they entered the play or on the run. It's against Nimitz, of course, declined. It stands a turnover, and the ball goes over to the Cardinals.
It's so unfortunate. You do all of that work. Nice counter. You get it to Woolfolk, and he got hit from behind, and he was going down and just didn't have the ball secured.
Donovan Wilson.
He's got to learn. You've got to put both arms on the football. When you are between you just have no choice. It's probably not comfortable, but you know, after you lose it once, okay. But 2 or 3 times, you just have to put both arms over it. I mean, there's just no question about it.
Donovan,
I mean, this defense is too physical not to.
Yeah, they are. Donovan Wilson applied the hits. Vikings need to put a handle on the football, a permanent door handle. Wyatt Davis crosses the 25, crosses a 30. It takes 2 to bring down Davis. Adds to his total over 100 yards in the first half.
You got a flag back behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, this will be the 14th flag assessed to the Cardinals tonight.
I'm telling you, every drive but one, they've been flagged for something. From holding to false starts to chop blocks, there's been something, and I promise you, this is going to be a point of emphasis here for Beck Nicholas, the head coach. Again, he's 52 years old. It's his first head coaching job. Been with the program now 24 years. He knows the culture and how things should go, and you just got to clean up the mistakes.
We did a couple of years ago, Scott. We did a game combined yardage is over 200 in penalties.
I mean, some of these are you can live with, but not the mental mistakes. The effort penalty's okay, not the mental mistakes.
So they sort it out. It's half the distance. It'll be placed at the 8. That's where they put it down, at the 8-yard line.
You know, and Coach Mitchell has talked about how we're still learning how to close out games. You know, we get overconfident. We kind of take our foot off the gas.
You get to the 25. Banner Nitzless is wrestled down at the 11.
Good play by Juan Barron, who struggled at times to run the alley back in that first half, but that's a nice solid tackle.
Brings up 2nd down and long. 2nd and 14. Just underway in the second half. A turnover. The 6th committed tonight by Nimitz.
Remember, this MacArthur team averaging 126 on the ground, but already close to 200.
Wyatt Davis trying to shake loose. The chase is on. And Davis rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, MacArthur almost 300 yards, 288 coming into this drive on the ground, and they're forced here on 3rd down and long. But they've been doing anything they want to. Inside runs, outside runs. They have controlled the line of scrimmage, doing it with size, speed, and athleticism.
Wyatt Davis 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. His last game over 100 yards tonight and more scores. From the gun, Costas Willis just throws it up to the near side. Nobody open.
You got to make sure you get that thing to the line of scrimmage. I didn't see a receiver in the area. Here comes a penalty flag.
Nobody, not a red jersey, within 10 yards.
No.
Intentional grounding, offense. Lost down.
Intentional grounding and a loss of down.
4th down.
So not a smooth start following the Nimitz turnover.
So you watch this big pressure. They got it blocked up. A nice cut block there of Lopez, but nobody home. You've got to get it to the line of scrimmage, and there has to be at least someone within 5 yards of the ball. You saw a wide receiver in Colin Hernandez coming back, the backup quarterback who's actually playing wide receiver here, but not close enough in the referee's estimation to keep the hanky in the pocket.
Well, they've got him pinned back. Why not send the house here? It's at the 3-yard line. It's 4th down in the field. 4th and 21. That's Olamati, a junior in punt formation.
Woolfolk back to receive. He's a running back. He's got good speed.
High snap. It's pulled down. The rush is on. Another flag dropped on the near side. Takes a high bounce at the 25 and touched at the 22. Off of there's some shoving. It went off of number 2. That's Wilson.
Boy, Wilson threatening to throw the ball at an opponent.
Yeah, he had it caught.
Man, didn't he?
So another flag. Unofficially 134 yards in penalties tonight.
Offside, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, added to the end of the run. 1st down, Nimitz.
So the call.
And he's late getting on here, obviously.
That's Nimitz, and cost him more yardage.
A short field now for Nimitz.
Yeah,
Again, the last couple of times they've had the ball, they've looked good. They looked good on their first possession of the half, but the fumble in the red zone.
It's at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 Vikings from the 16 over the left side. That's number 10. Another carry tonight for Jalen Harris, the sophomore. As the Vikings try to get to the lip of the cup here.
Trying to get to the lip of the cup. You can see they really bought in. The timing looks good when everything runs crisp and everybody plays their assignment offensively. They can move the football, but you can't take a play off mentally. That's the one thing that Coach Small had talked about. Sometimes they do that. We've seen mistakes tonight as a result of that.
Short punt and the penalty in the red zone, and a
Again?
fumble as soon as he got to the goal line. He scored it out of the hands. I'm telling you, Scott, they got to put a door handle. Equipment manager's got to put a couple of screws and nails in the football and apply the handle.
I thought that was a replay.
Oh, gosh. Again, we have met the enemy, and it is us all night.
Hornbuckle. He got to the 2. I thought for sure he was going to get in.
5, 6, 7 turnovers. Magnificent 7.
It was a great dive. Love the concept here.
How do you lose it?
I don't know. I mean, it just didn't have it high and tight. Look at it one more time, rolling it back. Yeah, just didn't have it high and tight. And, you know, after the first couple, Rolando King, he stripped a couple tonight. King's going after those balls. You know, he's a guy he's the best defensive back that they have, no question. He's going to play at the next level. They really feel confident. He's got ball skills, and he just got his arm in there and pulled the bicep free, and ball comes out. Man, you've got to know they're grabbing at it and poking it away.
From the 1, 1st and 10, Davis squeezes out about 6. Wyatt Davis.
And now it's not that the fumbles are happening, it's where they're happening. Now that's an issue.
Yeah, you turn away possible 14 points, 2 touchdowns.
Had the short field plus 18. How can he have better field position to start than that? And, man, it's so disappointing.
2nd down, the long 3, a short 4.
Because when you're running this offense, you cannot have those mistakes. I mean, every coach says that, but particularly when you're running this option type offense, this misdirection like Navy runs, you just can't have those mistakes.
Archie Mitchell was in the backfield, but this is Banner Nitzless.
Oh, face mask.
Nitzless is grabbed on the grill. 15 more at the end of the play.
Vicious face mask.
Man, he turned his head around halfway.
I got to tell you, I'm halfway surprised they don't have a running clock here. Just given the temperament of both sides. You know what? It's not so much the score.
I know what you're saying.
Everything factoring in here.
Mack with 338 total yards in the first half. The Vikings just 61.
Man, that was a nasty face mask.
Yeah, that's a dangerous pull on the guard.
First down.
So they'll march it off at the end of the play. 15 more. That'll carry it over the 40.
Watch it again here. This is a perfect view, too.
Extra 15 yards.
Man, he yanked him down with it. Jeez.
The great. Does that warrant a suspension? I mean, if you're a coach,
I don't know if it warrants a suspension, but it's that might have a consequence in practice the next day.
From the 43, 1st and 10, Mack in control tonight, leading 39-6. Fighting off 2, spinning. Watch him turn and burn. More yards for Burnett.
You want to be disciplined, but you got to play with an edge. There's an old adage, it's a lot easier to put a fire out than it is to start one.
Yeah.
And at least, Nimitz is playing hard. They're down 39-6, but they're playing hard. And it's hard to get young players. They've got a slew of young players. It's hard to keep young players playing at that level. So many coaches these days talk about how it just seems like you're having to coach effort more and more.
Maybe suspension was a little harsh, but
right.
With so many neck injuries, loading up, going deep down the rail and off the fingertips of Banner Nitzless.
Well, that's a ball he catches 99 times out of 100.
Going deep. But it comes back and will bring up 3rd down.
Well, he is such a good player. How about the all-purpose yards for him tonight?
5 catches, over 100 yards, and a touchdown 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
One of them went for 61. That would have been that and more.
And we mentioned he had one called back last week.
From the 47, 3rd and 6. Senior wideout / running back / slot back.
8 for 88 tonight for Nitzless. More flags.
Delay of game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
5 more.
Third down.
So unofficially 139 yards and penalties.
You know, we talked about the district getting opening up tonight. We had a couple of games that took place last night. With Jesuit upending Irving 52-13. Lake Highlands over Pierce 49-13.
Lake Highlands is strong again, aren't
Well,
they?
they are. Boy, it seems like every year they just reload, don't they?
From the 42, 3rd and 11. Casas Willis scanning the secondary, keeps it, runs out of bounds, takes a shoulder hit, and number 40 a little late. Rodriguez.
Yeah, Kevin Rodriguez, he's a smart guy too. They love his IQ, but that was not a smart play. He's a two-way player. But I thought maybe they wouldn't pull it out just because he kind of pulled off there at the end. You could kind of tell oh wait, I'm out of bounds here.
I actually thought he tried to stop his momentum.
Well, that's what I mean.
So the penalty flag fest continues in the second half.
Defense number 40. 15-yard penalty.
I think that may be jinxing these games. Hey, the last 3 games I've called at least 20 penalties, but look at this play here.
He moves the ball to the Nimitz 45.
You know, and if it weren't the quarterback, maybe.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I don't know. That.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, definitely a flag.
At the 45 of Nimitz. That's where the Cardinals have it. On 1st and 10, sideline right, open field left. It goes to the left. Wyatt Davis, 40. Follows blockers, 35. Davis to the 33.
Yeah, that blocker was Cannon Spencer, who's the H-back coming over for what they call the wham play. The end got a down block, and Spencer's job is to kick out the end. But I love how Wyatt Davis almost directing Spencer, almost tapped him and told him where to go, and Davis kind of pressing that block and picking up the first down. A nice run by Davis, who again is just a junior.
Cannon Spencer in tight to the left, number 48. On 1st and 10 at the 33. Davis, look at him go again. 25-20. Davis, marker drop, 10-5, shoved out of bounds. Inside the 5, but the penalty flag dropped at about the 18.
Hey, the last 2 plays, the 6'4", 235-pound tight end H-back Cannon Spencer has thrown some really good blocks, but it looked like we might have had another blindside block there. A couple of flags coming out.
You know, he had the 7 plagues in the Old Testament. Tonight you've got the 8th plague.
Offense number 48.
You've got the flag
10-yard
fest.
penalty from the spot of the foul.
Rewriting history tonight.
Hey, the fans that are left here, John, man, the Boo Birds are out.
Are they?
Man, what took them so long?
The Cowboy game, maybe?
Let's watch this. There's Spencer, nice block.
Yeah, that's legal.
At the bottom of your screen here. They called a hold there, maybe got his hands to the outside. That's the only thing I saw there.
At the 27, Casas Willis to Banner Nitzlis as he turns clockwise and makes the catch.
His best catch tonight.
That's the catch of the night.
That was no question the catch of the night. Had him in man coverage, and you know, for the lack of concentration he had on the previous target, that was maximum concentration and focus for Banner Nitzlis. He earned that one. That was beautiful. That was one for the highlight reel there. Let's watch this. This is maximum focus. A great throw by Casas Willis, who's made some good throws tonight, but he high points it, gets the right foot down. It is very hard to make that catch with a guy right in your face.
1st and goal from the 5. Davis, sprint to the double stripe and into the promised land.
Was there any question when he got to the 4-yard line with a full head of steam that he was getting in? And there were 2 white jerseys about to get in front of him. But no way anybody was going to stop Wyatt Davis. I like this guy. Big, strong. Man, he is much improved from last year, too. They talk about his footwork, his balance. I love his balance. It's so much better than what we saw in 2024.
Well, everybody said, and you have to believe it, Scott, this team is better than what the record shows at 1 and 2.
No doubt.
Making believers out of a lot of people tonight. Extra point is booted through.
Kick is good.
The last playoff appearance for Nimitz was back in 2021. But I got to believe if MacArthur can keep doing what they're doing, you know, they were picked 6th in 7-6A. Their goal is to make the playoffs, but it has to start by winning tonight, beating the 2 Irving schools. They think they've got the culture in place. You know, a couple of head coaches they've had since, you know, Coach has been back at MacArthur. Coach Nicholas has been back at MacArthur. But let's watch this again and watch this junior big fullback. Spencer's done a job that entire drive. Didn't really need a block. He's that big. But I just love how he gets downhill. I can't believe he only ran for 3:08. That's how much he improved. He only ran for 3:08 last year. That's hard to believe. I think he's got that many yards tonight. I mean, it sure seems like it.
We're going to find out in the next 3 weeks. They've got Lake Highlands, Berkner, and Jesuit.
No doubt. This
2
is
of those on the road.
Murderers Row in District 7, 6A, no doubt.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, Mr. Garner.
Yes, sir.
That's a 99-yard drive. That's the longest drive you can have in any 99 yards. You can't have one longer. Not 99.5. It's 99. It could never be a 100-yard drive.
Darn Meredith said it was 99 yards and a half when Tony Dorsett ran against the Vikings. Remember that when he ran against the Vikings on Monday Night Football? 99 yards and a half. They only had 10 guys on the field, too, when he did that.
Over-the-shoulder catch.
I want to know.
Vincent secures it.
Of every 100 people watching tonight, how many know who Don Meredith is?
And his uniform number.
How many know?
You know what it was? 17.
17.
He said the reason he picked SMU, it was close to home and easy to spell. That's why.
I heard him say that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mount Vernon.
That's right. Mount Vernon. East Texas, no doubt.
That's why he picked SMU.
99 yards and a half. Hey, that was a great. Hey, this guy right here, Wyatt Davis. I'm telling you, watch this guy. He's had a couple of. This is his 3rd really big game. 131 yards tonight. We still got 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
That's 241 yards his last 2 games. Wouldn't you know it? Another flag lazily dropped. That wasn't forcefully. That was just kind of flung out there.
Yeah, and remember Davis, he would have had another 100-yard game against Joshua when he started cramping up. He had a couple of cramps in that ball game.
Yeah, they only scored 6 points.
Yeah.
Lost, but yeah, you're right. He could have added to his total.
No doubt.
In week 2. 4:28 as the Vikings face a 1st and 15 at the 20, right between the hash marks. It's up the middle the other way, and a gain of about 3. Again, they bunch up so tight, Scott, it is kind of hard. Who has it, 10 or 20? Is it Harris? Is it Hornbuckle, or is it Wallace or Keeper?
I said 99 yards and a half. It was kind of peculiar the way Don Meredith said that. You just said up the middle the other way. And I thought, that kind of makes sense, actually.
That's a Phil Rizzutoism, isn't it?
It really, yeah. Yogiism, Rizzutoism.
Wallace rolls out and has his arm hit as he lets it fly.
And that's a rare pass, too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I like Wallace. They say a lot of basketball coaches will tell a team, hey, you were a lot better than the minutes you got tonight. Wallace is a lot better quarterback than the number of attempts he gets a game, I promise you.
Mm-hmm. He's taken some hits also.
He has. But I love the buy-in from this team. And, from the last drive of the first half to now, they continue to improve. I love that. I was wondering about that. I was going to watch for that as the separation got further on the scoreboard. But they keep fighting. Oh, boy.
DeGreat just got in as the play was called. That's Wolfwick being helped up. He shouldered down hard.
Wolfwick just kind of snatched that away from a red jersey, didn't he?
2 fumbles and now a punt on these possessions. I can't tell if time is called or an injured player. Coach Small on the field.
Well, the good news is for Nimitz, there's still 18.5 minutes left in this game. They've got plenty of practice coming here. You would think a lot of snaps here. if they can iron some of these fumbles out.
And here comes the punt teams as Nimitz will kick it away on their third possession. It'll be the third possession upcoming for the Cardinals.
I'm telling you, when I was looking back and looking at the box scores of their previous games, was it week 2? That's what we need, another one of those. Was it week 2 that they had 11 fumbles? I thought there's no way they had 11 fumbles. What are they doing at the morning news? They might have been 100% spot on with that now that we see this game.
Well, you want another one just like the other one, and another flag.
Oh, right.
Rolando King back, number 5.
Look out.
High snap through the end zone and out of the end zone over the end line as Mac will add to their total the unconventional way.
Ball goes out of the end zone on the punt attempt for a MacArthur safety.
So the safety will make it 48-6 as Nimitz will have to give it up. So they give up the 2 points and have to give up the football.
Okay. Take a look at a lot of the miscues that we have seen tonight. And really, we keep saying that, but I like how physical MacArthur has been at poking the football away. They ripped the ball away. Twice that ball was loose. This is absolutely premeditated. Wilson and company, this is what they do. They don't give up. They gang tackle. They hold them up. They throw a shoulder pad at the pigskin. Get that pigskin loose. Butter it up if you can. I mean, this is by design. This is no accident.
Special teams and just ball hawking.
Yeah, that's it. Ball hawking. Get around the football. Be aggressive. Being physical. So many. You go to the THSCA clinic, and it seems like each year more of an emphasis is placed defensively, not on the X's and O's, but on the mindset of players, having them just be more physical. The more physical you can get, the better, particularly on the back end, because teams throw the football so much these days. Right there you're getting a look at Anthony Small. He's having to deal with this, and he's complaining to the official about a couple of different things here, just working him over. But anyway, getting back to my point.
Well, he's giving him a sewing kit so he can sew the flag into his back pocket.
So he.
That's what he brought out, a sewing kit.
I thought maybe pull out the pickle juice with that sore arm he's going to have.
Yeah, he will.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make, the emphasis now, a lot of emphasis on being physical, and it's not so much about the X's and O's. It's about how active are you, and this is not anything new. But so many times you can make mistakes, but effort covers up so many mistakes, particularly on the defensive side. You can be out of place, but if you're going 100%, it's amazing how right you can make your teammate. Even though he might be in the wrong spot, you can make him right, as they say, just by the sheer effort. Effort covers up so many mistakes.
Well, the Vikings have made this speed bump become a roadblock tonight.
No doubt.
They give it up, they can either kick off or punt it away on the safety, number 29, Omar Molina. And he will kick it off. And 2 of them there. It's juggled, but finally secured at the 25, 35, crossing midfield and into Viking territory. Number 4 pulled down Omolati.
On the play.
And yet another one.
That's Omolati. On the kickoff.
Omolati pulled down by the front of the jersey. It's hard to tell where these drives start because of all the penalties, and officially.
That's really a great point. I didn't know if maybe I was getting tired or what. It's hard to keep up with where they're starting because of all the penalties.
So you still could. You attend the conventions? Do you attend some of the rules? Do you?
You go to those. You pick up so many things, and there's so many rules changes every year. It's amazing.
All right, 1st and 10, MacArthur from their own 47, their third possession of the second half. They have punted, and then Davis with a 5-yard touchdown run and a safety. I've already shaved twice today. It's 15 till 10. Handoff. This is Riles. Senior Tate Riles with his first carry. He's been in on a couple of plays as a receiver and as a wingback, but hasn't really touched the ball.
Yeah, and you're getting into the part of the roster here where you're going to start seeing the threes and the fours come out, because this is a crucial part. And even as a coach, some fans are like, just run the clock and get this game over with. No, you don't want to waste this quarter. This is a crucial quarter for both teams, because you're going to be able to get some guys some seasoning that they ordinarily wouldn't get.
And you're going to tell who wants to play for the Vikings and who is kind of lax. From the 44. There's the freshman, Burnett.
Yeah, I like watching him play. Nice pin and pull concept here with the center, and they pull the backside guard, play side. Nice to see the offensive line continue to do its work, but good patience there by Jaden Burnett.
Spotted at the 38, 1st and 10, Mac, 217 and a player down. That's an offensive lineman for the Cards. Joseph Martinez, offensive guard at 6 foot and 265. All right, Mr. Garner, the overall standings after 4 weeks in District 7 6A. Jesuit out to a 1-0 start. Lake Highlands, Mac will be 1-0 after tonight.
Yeah, Lake Highlands and Jesuit, they were picked 1 and 2 coming in by Texas football. Then you've got Richardson and then Berkner after that. Pierce and MacArthur were right on the bubble. Some of the prognosticators thought that Pierce and MacArthur might have a chance. And watching MacArthur tonight, they've got some pieces here. It would not surprise me to see them get into the playoffs.
Spoken like a true politician. Any relation to John Nance Garner?
No, but
playing both sides of that ball.
Yeah, that's true. It's early, I know, and it's way too early to be looking at the playoffs. I get it, but hey,
yeah,
they're opening up district play, and they know. Beck Nicholas knew coming in, you had to win tonight, and you have to beat the Irving schools to even have a shot.
From the 38 on 1st and 10, face mask and continuing to struggle, Jaden Burnett. We saw it. Did they see it? They're going to move the clock inside of 2 minutes.
How would they not see it?
Oh, they did. It came in the middle of the pile. Result in a Cardinal first down as they point that way. Big secret there, no secret. Just got enough of it as Burnett makes the turn, and right there to the 22, double deuce, Marino.
Pretty easy call right there, and everybody saw that. It wasn't nearly as flagrant as some of the other ones that we've seen, but enough of the mask, enough of the cage to pull the flag out.
48-6, 1:16 left here in quarter number 3. They stay to the ground, why not? Burnett squeezes out yardage over the left side, gets to the 16-yard line.
Nice GH counter right there, they call that, pulling the guard in the H-back, play side. And again, a lot of these runs are a mixture of finesse and power, because when you're running that gap scheme action and you're pulling guards and you're pulling linemen as a running back, you can't just race to daylight like it's an inside zone run. You have to be patient and wait for those blocks to develop.
You know, this year, Scott, I've seen the wing tee and now the slot tee in 3 weeks.
Kind of coming back, huh? It's all cyclical.
Weatherford runs the wing tee. Burnett, hard to bring down. Burnett inside the 10. Maybe the last play of the quarter. And I think it will be. Not in a hurry to get to the line of scrimmage as the third quarter comes to a close. 3 down, 1 to go. Cardinals on top big, 48-6 on our ICTN Game of the Week. As we flip the field, 90-plus yards the other way. It is at the 7-yard line. First and goal, Cardinals. Brock Casas-Willis, number 3. He'll turn, he'll roll out, looking for a man. Casas-Willis, and overshoots number 48 at the goal line. Cannon Spencer, tight end.
Yeah, they've been trying to flood the zone with a lot of these rollouts, and that time it was much better covered. And you're seeing this MacArthur team pretty much, I would say 60 to 70% of the time they will not stay in the pocket. They're gonna get a guy moving. Look at that big boy. I mean, Cannon Spencer in the second half, he's been used more as a blocker than a pass catcher, but he's 6'4", 235, moves really well for a guy that size.
Look at the top screen where the insert is. See the time?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're rolling it now? Yeah. Well, that's not part of the rules changes, but one of the things that you and I talked about, 3 or 4 rules that they've adjusted from last year.
At the 8, as he lost his footing, Riles.
Feigning injuries. You've seen that where teams, defenses will fake injuries. Can't do that anymore. After the ball's spotted, if somebody goes down, it's not going to be a penalty. This is at the high school level and the college level, because here in Texas, they go by NCAA rules. If there's no timeout, they'll charge you a timeout. If there's no timeout left, you get a 5-yard delay of game penalty. If they believe, even if somebody's faking it or not, if it's after the ball spotted, an infraction occurs.
3rd and goal. And did he get in? He did. Lost the ball, but he got over the line first. Jaden Burnett. And we're in the 50s.
Nice job by Burnett. Reached the ball over the double wide stripe just enough to get the touchdown here, and there may be a flag down.
Oh, it was too good to be true. Man, it was too good. And this one coming back, so a spot foul. It's got to be a hold. And it is. Place at the 17. It goes at the 7, so the 10-yard holding penalty. Clock moving as we approach 10 minutes. So it's 3rd and goal. Burnett again bounces to the outside. Running room inside the 10, skates to the 5 and knocked down inside the 5. It'll bring up 4th and goal.
I saw Wyatt Davis kind of put his hands up. Oh, I didn't do that, did I? Was that a crackback block? And, the official, you get to a point in the game, and, when you first start coaching, you kind of are taken aback when you realize that officials don't actually throw every penalty that they see. They have to officiate with common sense, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, and to your point, I've seen a holding call on a sweep the other way that had no influence on the score. It happened so quick. How can you hold on a run the other way? They got to attempt a field goal. It's Anthony Jimenez with a 20-yard field goal attempt, and he sneaks it through the left upright from 20 on 4th and goal. Now the discussion. No knee drop, no run on 4th and goal. They go to the bars.
Got flag down here, looks like. We've got to watch after every play.
Well, a field goal attempt may ruffle a few feathers on the Viking side. So apparently enough has been said by both teams. We're going to just pile it up, play our game. I mean, these can't be playoff points. You get into the point system also, head-to-head and all that. But, man, now 51-6.
After the play was over, personal foul, unsportsmanlike, number 58, taunting. 58 red. Penalty be enforced on the kickoff.
Well, we gave Randy Moss some throat loss just at halftime. He's losing his voice. Getting a lot of camera time, and
it's funny.
He's getting hoarse.
He was. One thing you and I haven't talked about tonight, the schedule here for MacArthur. They've won 2 in a row, with Lake Highlands on tap. They could not go into that game any better.
Yeah, that sets up. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad schedule. You know, Bergner, we saw Jesuit Thursday night, better than their record indicated at 0-3. Pierce can throw a wrench into things.
Yes.
Well, they came in averaging 20, 51. They've hung a half 100 tonight on the Vikings.
But no shortage of talent here, particularly on the MacArthur side. You've got talent on the Nimitz side, too. It's just young. They're learning a new offense.
Different story last year, the Vikings losing to Mac.
Yeah.
Or Mac losing 24-8.
To Nimitz. Yeah, they've avenged that loss tonight.
Yeah.
But, you know, one of the things you and I haven't really touched on is how NIL is kind of affecting programs at the high school level now. You know, so many of these staffs now, I've seen so many and talked to so many coaches who now have a coach designated to getting highlight tapes together of these players to try to push them out to schools to market them. That's really, it's kind of become that because it's so hard to get these high school players a spot at the next level now. You know, 5 years ago you didn't have the NIL, and you know, you might see at the Division I level 15 players coming from the high school level. Now you only see 3 or 4 players. Now 3 or 4 slots go to high school guys. Look out.
Handoff and a shoulder takedown of Jalen Harris.
I thought Harris was going to have his helmet taken off.
Boy. But you're right, Scott. You know, not that many years ago, the school principals and the ADs, they would get on the coaches. You got to get these kids scholarships. I don't care if it's Division II, Division III. Do your best to get the scholarships. And now that's come full circle in the form of cash.
Yes. A nice tackle by Anthony Monzone right there. Nice run.
Breaking tackles is Woolfolk. 20-10. He'll score.
Fantastic run to take the hit in the second level and to keep his balance after getting spun around. No question his best run of the night. That might be his best run of the year.
Javon Woolfolk, the senior, and no flags, no penalties.
No flag, no penalty?
It'll stand.
Wait a second. Something seems amiss.
Well, he still wants to play.
Hey, that's why he's going to he's going to play at Division II Bethany next year. And that's why. Man, that was a great run.
There's always a place for somebody. Yeah. Woolfolk with a long touchdown run.
Well, he had a great offseason too. Got stronger. I think that strength has helped his balance.
51-12. Here's a PAT. It is up and it is good. So Nimitz with its second touchdown tonight.
Extra point by Molina is good.
Watch this again. Nice counter action. Takes the hit, spins around, kept his feet moving. Very hard to stay balanced, and then split 2 guys there at the 20-yard line. Very nice run. Really nice for the senior. We had 3 touchdown runs coming in. And he's a converted cornerback. Talk about an athlete. It's nice to see.
Yeah, the touchdown pass to Kevin Rodriguez in the first half, and now the run by Woolfolk in the second half. The 2 touchdowns and the extra point, 51-13.
You know where Bethany's at?
Oh, man. Some of these small colleges, I lose geographically. Central Texas? No, wait a minute. I don't. No, I don't want to say
Kansas.
Lawrence? Outside of Lawrence, maybe?
I think it's just outside of Lawrence. I think that's right.
Well, good. That's a spot.
It doesn't matter. It's a spot. And you say, well, that's not a big deal. It's just Bethany. It's just a Division II school. Hey, listen, the game now, we talked about NIL. The game now is just get a spot because it's so hard to get a spot at a high school. Again, we mentioned for every 10 guys that got a spot 5 years ago, now you've only got 3 guys getting a spot. So the game is NAIA, Division III, Division II, junior college, doesn't matter. Get a spot, get your tape, and then market yourself after your first year because so many guys are transferring around now.
Here's the Viking kickoff. It's a spinner gathered in at the 7 to the 20, 25, crossing the 30, and close to the 35 on the return. Osebi Omalati on the return.
You know, I coached I covered a couple of kids that were getting 30 and 40 college offers. That's what they're getting now. That's how many schools are interested in them. These are 4- and 5-star guys. But even if you lose that battle and you don't get a kid, that doesn't mean you're not going to get him in 2 years. That doesn't mean he's not going to come back to you in 3 years. So while you might have lost on him at a high school, don't give up on him. You might get him next year.
I touched about it in the first half, but I like the fact, Scott, that now these college coaches are realizing, hey, we're giving these kickers scholarships.
Yes.
You know, a scholarship to a backup third-team tackle, the kicking game has changed everything. That's why it's called football. I mean, punting and kicking has changed everything. On the sweep, number 86, still in bounds. Riley, number 86, senior. As they clear the bench, new numbers, and getting some playing time for some of the second teamers. But, I mean, the kicking, my gosh, you get to the 45-yard line, you got a field goal attempt close to 60. Seems like every night.
Yeah, love that fly sweep. But I look down there, and again, you see Cannon Spencer's at a great second half. You see Spencer down there blocking for him. Again, this is, you say, well, it's a meaningless fourth quarter because it's 51-13. Not for these young guys that are getting some time now. This is valuable game speed that they don't see in practice.
Starting quarterback is still in there. This is Timothy Banton. So Timmy Banton, a senior, with a carry. I think it's his second or third carry tonight. But it is strange, though, Scott, to see, you know, your line of scrimmage is at the 45. 7 yards makes it 52, which is 62 in college. You see in these field goal attempts, you just get to the 35 or 40. I mean, sometimes it's an automatic 3 the way these guys are so good now.
How long did Tom Dempsey have the 63-yard record in the NFL? Like 50 years. And now every kick, if you don't kick at least 55, well, we got to get somebody else.
35-30, breaking tackles, and finally the support team comes up to kind of secure number 86. Okay, the Ponies. You've got Syracuse next Saturday. In a couple of weeks, you go to Clemson.
Yes.
Thoughts about SMU in the next 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, it's a crucial off week after losing to TCU, and then you've got Syracuse coming in with a backup quarterback. It's going to be a serviceable backup quarterback, so can't discredit that. But you mentioned the college level. How about Virginia upsetting Florida State? It has just gone final. That game has gone to overtime. It's gone final. And number 8 Florida State pulling a Florida State.
Wow. And
they end up getting upset tonight.
So they go down. Timeout taken by MacArthur on 1st and 10.
We mentioned TCU. They're playing Arizona State tonight. They had a 3-point lead at last check. So, man, every night of the week. And, Thursday nights have become a popular night at the high school level. We had a big broadcast last night.
You had
there was also another one on the other side of town too.
9. See, you had
9-6.
Yeah.
But hey, 2 games already in this district that have already taken place this week.
Jesuits and Mac right here on ICTN, October the 16th. I would love it if you could hand Dabo another loss in about 3 weeks.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Hey,
I want to see.
Tell Rich Phillips, you guys need to hand Dabo another loss.
That would be so much. I'm telling you, we're ready for it. But hey, this MacArthur team tonight, hey, they have shown me so. I love the offensive line play, but the backs on this team, I think their defense is good enough. I think their running back room is talented enough. They could make some noise. I would not be shocked to see Beck Nicholas' team go to the postseason.
Hernandez on the sweep is chased out of bounds. Clock moving, 4:55, 51-13. The Cardinals about to go to 2-2, 1-0 in district and win their 36th game all time in the series. Over the last 11 years, they have now gone 9-2 against their crosstown rival.
Yeah, you win this one, you will have won your second game. This MacArthur team has not won more than 5 games in 10 years. Remember, they won 7 games in 2015. Look at the determination here. They won 7 games in 2015. They had a stretch, MacArthur did, these Cardinals, where they won 7 games, 3 of 4 seasons. They've had a good stretch here.
Wyatt Davis twisting and turning into the turnstile. Denied, does not want to go down, fights off another tackle, and finally tossed to the turf by Javon Woolfolk.
It was Woolfolk, but that was speaking of stretch, that was an old-fashioned stretch play. We haven't seen a lot of that off-tackle stretch action from this MacArthur team tonight here in the second half. But again, they're getting back to business here. All of these snaps will go a long way into trying to upset teams like Lake Highlands.
Well, Burnett has just made it 57-13.
This freshman, man, does he look good. Gosh, I mean, that's hard to believe. Coming up from 8th grade, you're going to be playing varsity football. This guy was playing junior high ball last year. Hey, imagine 11 months ago what this guy was doing in 8th grade.
Man, just a man among boys tonight.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
Save some of these points for Lake Highlands.
I've seen some freshmen playing this year at the varsity level in different districts. These coaches not afraid to go to the young talent.
Anthony Jimenez, and his extra point is good as they up the count down to 58-13. So no doubt with a 7-yard, and now another touchdown run inside the 20 for Burnett. Davis scored earlier, capping a 99-yard drive.
Boy, simple lead play right there and untouched. Don't have to do a whole lot. It's just Lee Riles, Tayshawn Lee Riles with a kick-out block on the edge. And again, we look down and there's Cannon Spencer getting that fan block, that reach block, securing the inside. He's had a great second half, and I don't even think he's caught a ball. He hasn't had to. He's been that good so far from that tight end position. But they've got some parts here. Man, the numbers are gaudy tonight, but I like the fact that they're able to execute. I like the running backs. I love how they run that gap scheme. They use their blocks. They press their blocks on time. For all the penalties that they've had, there has been a lot of good on this Cardinals side. And I know they're going to get a blowout win here, but the coaches aren't looking at the scoreboard. They're going to go back and they're going to look at the execution.
Max Flores-Leapy has it teed up.
Man, 578 total yards tonight for MacArthur.
Is that what it is? Over 200 here in the second half.
Yeah.
Through the wickets and picked up at the 14-yard line by Wallace. And Wallace is surrounded and piled up at the 10.
28 penalties in this game. Man.
28.
I can't remember the last time I saw a team with 20. Nimitz has Berkner, and then Richardson, and then Irving coming up, a little 3-game stretch here.
So just trying to ride out the clock here in the final 3+ minutes. So how many total yards for Mac? You said 5?
MacArthur with 578 to 201.
578. That's 250 here in the second half.
And I think it took a quarter, I think, for Nimitz to get their first down of the game. MacArthur's got 27 first downs. Nimitz has 10.
Ball spotted at the 11. Vikings will fall to 0-3, 0-1 in district. Coming off a 41-27 loss at Grand Prairie a couple of weeks ago. Running room to the 15, and slow to get up is Harris. We'll see anybody go down here kind of gingerly on that left ankle, not putting too much pressure on it.
Did you know Mike Farda, Coach Farda?
Not well, but yeah, we talked a couple of times when he coached here.
Yeah, he coached here at Nimitz, probably the most successful that they had.
Yeah.
25 years he was the head coach. Won 139 games here at Nimitz. 139 and 115 and 1. It's outstanding.
Well, that is for a pretty high school town. And the schedule he played then and the district.
Yeah.
So timeout taken with under 2 minutes to go.
2-minute timeout.
Who do you like in the Georgia-Alabama game this weekend?
That's a great question. You know, used to we'd say, hey, never go against Alabama. But I don't know. Who do you like?
I like Georgia.
Like Georgia?
I think they continue to do what they do, and Alabama really have to play well their best game of the year to beat Georgia. I think they play their best game. Arkansas, Notre Dame for the first time.
Definitely going Notre Dame in that one.
At Fayetteville. Southern Cal looked, hey, that junior transfer to quarterback, that red shirt from USC looked pretty good last week.
Yeah.
From the 14, running play up the middle to the 15. Another handoff to Jalen Harris. And again, kind of slow to get up.
That's a big 9 for Wallace, the quarterback for Nimitz. Threw the ball 3 times in this game tonight.
2 of 2 last week.
That's 3 attempts is a big night. There have been 2 games.
3 attempts.
Didn't throw it at all.
2 more plays, maybe. Hornbuckle.
Hey, there was a game one year where Navy played SMU. This was like 25 years ago. They beat SMU, beat us by like 20, and did not throw 1 pass in the game. At the college level, Navy.
Was that at home or at Annapolis?
That was at Ford Stadium, I believe.
Wolfick is ushered out of bounds. So just a couple of more plays, and hopefully nothing is done extracurricular after the whistle. They've been at it all night, more so in the first half. But the second half started on unsportsmanlike conduct on the kickoff at the end of the MacArthur extra point. Following the lead, and Harris on the handoff.
You mentioned Brian Basil, who was the head coach here at MacArthur from 06 to 15. He's the last head coach to leave with a winning record. He was 58-55. He's now the head coach at Flower Mound. Brian Basil.
He was he had a winning record, 3 games over.
Yeah, 3 games over.
Okay. That'll do it. That's the last play of the game. And everybody knows it as they get ready to line up at midfield and say their goodbyes. Now they're pulling everybody in. That will do it as the Cardinals polish off Nimitz tonight, 58-13 in this 56th meeting all time. We're back with a postgame from Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium tonight, right after this on the other side.
From Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium, it's the ICTN Game of the Week.
To the 10, to the end zone. Incredible. And it is 6 for the Vikings. And that will do it.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gandy. On the next City Source, see the improvements now complete on the Lake Carolyn Promenade. We'll also have these stories.
City leaders celebrate the Conflans Road extension. Find out about the impact of this project. And a preview of a big event that will give you the chance to experience Main Street like never before. That's at 6 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16 and Frontier Channel 30, and anytime at youtube.com/The City of Irving. It's hometown news you can't get anywhere else on ICTN City Source.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan Stevens. Be sure to watch Irving Spotlight as we speak with an Irving native who shares his experience as a production designer on some of the hottest films and shows in Hollywood. And we see what's lighting up the big screen at Heritage Park for the upcoming Movies on Main series. So tune in for the September 19th episode on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16, and Frontier Channel 30, and on YouTube at The City of Irving, as we spotlight the city's arts, culture, and entertainment.
Billed as the ultimate playground for comics, sci-fi, horror, anime, and gaming, it's Dallas Fan Fest. Plan for selfies and autographs with celebrities here at the Irving Convention Center on October 4th and 5th. Flaunt your look on the cosplay red carpet and cosplay competition. Get ready for the Big Money Tour. John Baptiste Plays America. Baptiste says the show is meant to be healing, liberating, and unforgettable. The performance starts at 8 p.m. on October 5th here at the Toyota Music Factory. Learn technique and get ideas at Vid Summit. The convention is for video creators and influencers and anyone involved in the content creation process. Learn how to increase views from some of the best in the business here at the Irving Convention Center from October 7th through the 9th.
58-13 your final as the MacArthur Cardinals go to 1-0. In District 7 6A, John Nelson back with Scott Garner as they empty our stadium tonight on this last Friday of September. Scott, turnovers and just too much MacArthur manpower and horsepower tonight.
Boy, speed, power, and the mistakes were abound tonight for Nimitz, and it seemed like every time they got inside the 5-yard line, that would happen. As Javon Woolfolk coughed it up at the goal line and picked up by Belcaire, and he was able to return that thing out past the 15-yard line. We saw that time and again. Offense looked good at times, and then we saw something like that. It was an incredible play by Javon Woolfolk. He kept scoring the touchdown, keeping his feet after getting hammered to the second level. That was a very nice run. Mentioned that might have been his best run of the season. Certainly the play of the game on the Nimitz side, but there were plenty of these tonight for this MacArthur team, with Burnett, the young freshman, being able to bounce and rarely touched as he goes over the double white stripe for the score. There has been some talent on display tonight, and to the tune of 578 total yards for MacArthur. They just owned the tote board tonight.
138 yards. In penalties, a total of over 200 tonight combined.
Wow. They had as many penalty yards as passing yards. That's hard to do. But the Cardinals, all smiles tonight. They've won 2 in a row. They've got a daunting schedule coming up, but they have accomplished their goal of defeating the first Irving school. They've got to do it again, and you've got to go against teams like Lake Collins, but if they can continue to improve on what they have established here, they keep getting better each and every week, they've got a chance to make some noise here in 7-6A. Irving MacArthur doing a really good job under Beck Nicholas, his first head coaching job, the 52-year-old, talking with his team right now and talking about one goal. That goal is to get to the postseason, and they've got the talent to do it.
Our next TV broadcast on the 16th of October, it'll be Jesuits in the same Irving MacArthur squad. All right, Scott Garner, enjoyed it immensely.
Yes, sir. Great job, John. Enjoyed it.
Our entire ICTN production crew, we say adieu. MacArthur 58, Nimitz 13. We'll see you next time.